As you were, it's going to be the Bengals kicking it off as they deploy out there to kick it off. So it's on the 35-yard line. And the San Diego Chargers now deploy to receive the opening kickoff. They've got James Brooks center deep. Jim Breach has teed it up there. Cincinnati Bengals won the toss, but they're going to kick it off here. And let San Diego handle it for a while. Ball is in the air. Brooks is moving over. He's got it at the 9-yard line. He's to the 10 to the 15, to the 20. Bumps off one tackler and gets up to the 25-yard line. James Brooks on the return, totally first down, 10 yards to go. Tom Nichols downfield to make the tackle. San Diego Chargers get the first shot now. Dan Fouts, the quarterback. James Brooks and Chuck Muncie are the running back. Charlie Joyner and Wes Chandler, the wide receivers, and Kellen Winslow is the big tight end. Here they move now with Joyner coming out of the huddle to a wide left. Dan Fouts sending in to take the snap. They're in an I formation. Here's a quick pitch to Muncie. Hail the tandem at Muncie. Offside tackle gets to the 31 to the 29-yard line. Bo Harris from LSU in to make the tackle again. A 4-second down and 6 yards to go.
For the San Diego Chargers, Chuck Muncie, their leading ground gainer. He rushed for over 1,144 yards on 251 carries during the regular season that saw the Chargers go 10-6. And against the Dolphins, Muncie had 24 carries for over 120 yards. Muncie is prone toward fumbleitis. Ball control in this football game could be very, very important. Both coaches say the team that makes the fewest mistakes today will win.
John Cavalletti is in as a running back with Chuck Muncie. Cavalletti is out on the slot right now. Joyner is outside him. Kellen Winslow in motion from a wing right across left. Quick pitch to Muncie. Tries the left side. Finds an opening and drives out across the 35-yard line to the 36. And that should be enough for a first down, I think. It is a 1st and 10. Picked up by Chuck Muncie before he was brought down by Brian Hicks.
The big block thrown over on the left side by Eric Sievers, the rookie tight end out of Maryland, 6'4", 234, that actually sprung him for first down yardage. Lindsey, somewhere along the line we have lost a degree. It was 8 degrees. We are told it is now 9 degrees below zero, a minus 54 wind chill factor, and a chance of snow.
You could lose a degree in the twinkling of an eye around here this afternoon. And now a timeout is called by San Diego. Fouts got up there, took a look, and called timeout. So the Chargers are spending one with the score. San Diego nothing, Cincinnati nothing. Let's take timeout.
Each Best Western is delightfully different. That means a variety of services for you. Yet every Best Western is independently owned, so you'll enjoy the personal attention that comes from pride of ownership. Next time you're looking for a special place to turn in,
United Van Lines presents Stiller and Mira.
Call United Van Lines, Fern.
United Van Lines is moving us to Honolulu?
Nothing but the best, kiddo.
You're calling United Van Lines? You who gave me a cigar band for a wedding ring?
Didn't I have it bronzed?
You who buys a used Christmas tree every year?
When it comes to moving, you don't look for bargains. You go for quality. You can trust United to move everything from couches to computers.
Give me a kiss, sport, for once we're going first class.
Not us, Fern, just the furniture. We take a bus from Scranton to Tampa, catch a tanker to Panama, hop a banana boat, headed for the Yucatan.
United Van Lines. We're in the Yellow Pages.
In case you're wondering if they thought whether or not to postpone this game, it's -9 as we kick it off. The decision to play the game made by the commissioner, Pete Rozelle, after consulting with his staff and conversations with both the Chargers and the Bengals.
1st and 10 out of the Chargers at their own 36. Winslow from right side in motion all the way across left. Fouts driving back to put it up. When he's down, throws it out to Winslow over his head. Left sideline incomplete. Winslow tried to make a stab with one hand. There won't be too many one-hand stabs made here today in this weather. Glenn Cameron was covering 2nd and 10 on the 36-yard line.
And the offensive line of the Chargers, Lindsey, excellent pass protection that time. Fouts had all day to look. He wanted to throw right to James Brooks, and you could see the ball kind of flutter as Fouts released it way over the head of the intended receiver, number 80, Kellen Winslow, who had the game of his career against the Miami Dolphins last week with 16 catches.
2nd down, 10 yards to go. Brooks is the lone setback. Wide receivers left and right. Winslow in motion towards him and back outside left. Now short drop. Pumps it out to Wes Chandler. Chandler is hit immediately. He made the catch for a gain of about a yard, but it was hit by Kelp immediately. So call it third down and 9 at the 37.
Just a simple down and out to number 89, Wes Chandler, former New Orleans Saint. 52 receptions on the year, 857 yards, averaging about 16.5 yards per catch, and 5 touchdowns. And in that game last week in the receiving department, Chandler did not have a catch.
Cincinnati Bengals now have their defensive replacements in there in anticipation of a pass attempt on third and 9. And Fouts sending in 3 receivers to the left side. Fouts dropping back, backpedaling, steps up and throws on the run, and it is incomplete. Incomplete, and it'll bring up a fourth down, intended to Charlie Joyner. Well covered. Ken Riley was over there in the hand for the defense of the Cincinnati Bengals. Lou Breeden was also over there defensively. Hunter's coming to the ball game.
And Breeden actually had a chance for the interception. I made a mistake. I said that Chandler had no receptions against the Dolphins. He had 6. That was simply a little curl pattern inside. Breeden had perfect position. Had the inside route. The ball was kind of fluttered in there. Joyner came in and tried to pick it off.
George Roberts back in deep punt formation. Fuller is back on his own 30-yard line. Mike Fuller. Waiting for the snap now is Roberts. He gets it, steps up. Boots the ball, and it is over near the sideline and goes out of bounds as it was off the side of his foot, and it is at the 36-yard line. Cincinnati Bengals are getting an excellent field position here. So with no score in the ball game, we've had a change of possession, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Are you one of those guys that's got a foot that's just almost impossible to buy a shoe that's really stylish, really good looking, and really comfortable? I mean, your foot's too big or your foot's too narrow? Let me tell you, the folks in this town who specialize in those hard-to-find sizes are my friends at Benny's Shoes. Now, you go by either location on the Marion Road side of Broadview Plaza, or you stop into the new location out at Loman's Plaza in Cobb County. I'm talking about AA, AAA, no matter how much trouble you have had in the past finding shoes that look sharp, you're going to find them at Benny's Shoes. And listen, you're going to find name brand shoes. You heard right now. I know you think that's impossible, but it's a fact. Name brand shoes in sizes you can't find anywhere, and listen to the bonus, big, big discounts always at Benny's Shoes at either location. And what I always say, nobody anywhere sells shoes cheaper than my friends at Benny's Shoes. Name brand shoes, discount prices.
Minus 9 degrees below zero, 54 degrees below zero with a wind chill factor. Prior to the game today, the NFL office talking to Dr. Ralph Goldman of the Army will tell you what he said in a moment.
First down, 10 yards to go. The ball to the 35-yard line of the Bengals, and Ken Anderson is in there waiting. They're in an I formation. Johnson and Alexander. Play action. And it's completed to Alexander. He is across the 40-yard line to about the 41 when he was popped down there. Gain of about 6 will make it second down and 4. Lyndon King from Colorado State made the tackle.
Alexander, of course, had the big game last week against the Buffalo Bills. Now, Dr. Goldman of the Army Research Institute and Environmental Protection Agency passed along his recommendations through the league to the medical, the training, and the equipment and coaching staff of both the Chargers and the Bengals on how these two teams should try and stay warm and stay healthy out here today.
What do you say about announcers?
He said we should be in San Francisco with Jack Buck and Pat Summerall.
And Pete Rozelle. Here's a handoff taken by Big Pete Johnson. And he is driving into the 45-yard line for about 4. Very close to the first down. When they spot it, they'll take a look. A little short. Third and less than a yard to go. Louis Kelcher, Bob Horn in there on the last stop. David Mercer comes into the ball game now. Short yardage for the Cincinnati Bengals on third down. They get Steve Kreider in there. Emil Harris in there as well. Handing it off, taking it up. Pete Johnson drives in for the first down. He got it not by much, but I think he got just enough. It is first and 10.
Pete Johnson, a pile-driving kind of a fullback out of Ohio State. 274 carries during the regular season, 1,077 yards, 15 carries last week, averaging about 7.5 yards against the Buffalo Bills. Now, remember last week, Cincinnati scored on their first two possessions. They built up a 14-0 lead, enjoying good field position. This drive starting back at their own 31.
Anderson brings them up once again. Johnson's the lone setback here. They move Alexander out into a wide right. Collingsworth on a wide left. Anderson dropping back and looking. Swings it out to Johnson, incomplete in front of him. Boyd pass behind the line. Deflected there, so it is second down and 10 yards to go. It's at the 46-yard line.
Number 68, Leroy Jones, defensive end, 6'8", 6-year out of Norfolk State, putting the pressure on Kenny Anderson that time. Got his huge lumberjack-like arms up there in front of that pass and just got a deflection on it. Otherwise, Johnson had a lot of room to ramble. They had it set up well over on the right side. Lindsey, if you're the Chargers, you played last week in the Orange Bowl in Miami. It was 84 degrees. It's -9 here. That's a 93-degree temperature shift. Imagine what that'll do.
That's a big swing. Second down and 10 yards to go at the 46. Now the draw player this time, taken by Charles Alexander, goes to the right side and drives it up to the 50-yard line. Louis Kelcher stops him at the 50. Gain of 4, make it third down and 6 near midfield.
Everybody's wondering about the emotional factor. Obviously, this is for the championship of the American Football Conference. The winner goes on to the Super Bowl. Motivation is not a factor. However, the Chargers had a grueling 74-minute game against the Miami Dolphins. Overtime, a very emotional game, a physical game. They came out of it banged up. They had to go back to San Diego, fly into Cincinnati, 2 cross-country flights. So early in the football game, you should get a pretty good indication how much the Chargers have left.
Third and 6. I think Curtis is in the slot. Collingsworth wide left. Anderson waiting for the snap, a lone setback. Penalty mark at the line of scrimmage. Anderson now unloads and completes it. It is taken by Dan Ross, the tight end. He's to the 33-yard line. We'll have a penalty marker to be checked out. Woody Lowe made the stop, but if the penalties against San Diego will be declined, and Cincinnati will have the ball deep in San Diego territory.
Looked like one of the Chargers jumped off sides. The play should stand. Anderson with lots of pass protection that time. Dan Ross, number 89, the third-year tight end out of Northeastern, had a complete season almost last week against the Bills. 6 catches, 71 yards.
Offsides against the Chargers decline. First and 10 for the Cincinnati Bengals as the play stands at the 33-yard line. Fred Silver's the referee. Art Demis the umpire. Burl Toller's the head linesman. Walt Peters is the line judge. Back judge is Jim Poole, the side judge is Dave Perry, and the field judge is Bob Lewis.
You think when the commissioner decided to play the game, he checked with his officials, too?
I think he checked with his officials, and I think he did it all from San Francisco, California.
9 degrees below zero. The officials are all wearing gloves. Most of the wide receivers are using gloves. The quarterbacks, however, are not.
The announcers are wearing gloves.
And it's not having any effect.
None whatsoever. The press room here at Riverfront Stadium today was the most popular press room in football history, as members of the media stayed in as long as they possibly could before coming out to the cold quarters from which they will report this ball game.
A lot of them are still there. They're going to report it right from there.
You're right.
A lot of them are not going to see the ball snap today.
Too bad our line wouldn't run that far. Slight delay here until they get straightened out. Getting the chain moved and set up.
You know, I talked to a couple of the photographers from NFL Films. They, of course, do the filming for all of the NFL games and have for such a number of years. And I asked them if this was the coldest they can remember. They mentioned a couple of other games, one of which you and I did in Pittsburgh a couple of years ago against the Oilers. But they said the coldest they can remember was the championship game in Green Bay between the Packers and the Dallas Cowboys.
1967. Here it is, first and 10. For the Bengals at the San Diego 33-yard line. We're in the first quarter and there's no score. The running backs are split for Anderson. Handing it off. Taken by Johnson. Big deep 250-pounder. Down to the 23-yard line. May have picked up another first down. I think he did. I think that last one carried him to full 10. Red Silver, the referee, takes the ball to the inbound marker. Spots it. Checks for these headlines. But first and 10. Lyndon King and John Woodcock made the tackle.
It's simply a power play over the left side for the Cincinnati Bengals, and Pete Johnson, a pile-driving fullback, ran right over Woody Lowe, the 6-year man out of Alabama, and picked up first down yardage.
Bengals are trying to get on the scoreboard. First and 10 just outside the 22-yard line. Johnson's on the right side, Alexander on the left side. Now they shift into an I formation. Alexander off the tail of the 10 and hits the left side. Inside the 20, stacked up at the 19, maybe the 18-yard line. And of about 4 yards on the play, makes it second down and 6. Lyndon King and Louis Kelcher in to make the tackle for the San Diego Chargers.
last week against Buffalo. 13 carries, 72 yards, 5.5-yard average for Charles Alexander out of LSU. During the regular season, he carried only 28 times for 261 yards. So you can see Forrest Gregg and the coaching staff feel they came up with a surprise last week against Buffalo. They plan on using Alexander with Pete Johnson blocking here today against San Diego.
Collingsworth to the left side. Isaac Curtis to the right side. Ken Anderson leaning in and waiting for the snap of the running back split. He's got it. Gives it off to Pete Johnson. He gets in there past the 15 to the 14-yard line. 13-yard line before they finally stop him. Picked up about 5 on the play. It's going to be third down and a yard to go. Gary Johnson, big hand, made the tackle for the San Diego Chargers.
Chargers like to run left. Of course, they've got an outstanding young guard and tackle on that side. Dave Lapham, number 62, is the left guard, and the rookie out of USC, big number 78.
Third down, less than a yard to go, so here comes the shock troop. David Mercer coming into the ball game. M.L. Harris coming into the ball game for Cincinnati on third, and less than a yard to go. Ball is squarely on the 13-yard line of the San Diego Chargers. No score in the game, but the Bengals are driving. Even up the running back, they run it from a tight wing right. And play action. Here's the pass play, and it is incomplete to Alexander. Going down the right side.
All alone in the end zone, number 81, David Mercer. They snuck him out of there. The cornerback took the fake Lindsey into the line of scrimmage, and Mercer was all alone in the end zone. There wasn't a Charger within 15 yards of him, and Anderson didn't see him.
Now on fourth down and less than a yard to go, the field goal team has come on. Jim Breach is in to attempt. I think I'm going to try to get something on the scoreboard right here. Steve Kreider is in to hole, and this will be a 31-yard attempt. From the hash mark left, 31-yard field goal attempt by Jim Breach. Kreider is down on one knee. Extends the hand. Waits for the snap. It's put down. Breach boots it up. And it's good. Cincinnati Bengals are on the scoreboard with the score Cincinnati 3, San Diego nothing. Let's take time out.
The Buick Regal sedan, also known as Buick's Little Limousine. But why, sir?
Well, it's like a lot of limos I've ridden in. The room, the luxury. Plus, Regal's V6 engine offers an impressive 21 EPA estimated MPG. Use estimated MPG for comparisons. Actual mileage may be different. Estimates lower in California.
You really like this car, then?
Well, it does make my job a lot more pleasant.
Charles, bring the Regal round, please.
Very good, sir.
The Regal sedan.
Would you really rather have a
If you want a life insurance plan to help keep your home in the family, check with State Farm. Today, families often have two breadwinners. With the loss of either one, it can be difficult to meet continuing mortgage payments. Ask your good neighbor State Farm agent about a sensible, affordable life insurance plan to help your family keep their home. Check your yellow pages now for the State Farm agent near you.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
8:05 left to go in quarter number one. The Bengals have struck first. A 31-yard field goal by Jim Breach. Cincinnati on top, 3-0 over the Chargers, about to get the ball back. Now I know why you use a lead pencil instead of a ballpoint pen. The pen freezes up.
Exactly. The delay we had a moment ago, we were told, was because the phones had gone out on the San Diego side, so they had to take the phones out temporarily from the Bengals to even it up. Now the phones are back in working order. James Brooks, West Chandler deep. Here's Breach for the kickoff, end over end. Brooks is moving up. He's got it at the 11-yard line to the 15, cuts off to the 20. Drops the ball, fumbles, and the scramble is on. Cincinnati recovers at the 12-yard line. Dan Bass recovered.
Lots of confusion down there. Donnie Bass in his fourth year out of Houston, number 84. He's 6'2", 220. He is a wide receiver. He's big enough to be a tight end. There's the first big break of the ball game. As Brooks took it to the left side, had a wall set up. The first Bengal down there to hit him stripped him of the football. That was number 51 for Cincinnati. Rick Rosano, the second-year man out of Virginia Tech. Ross fell on the ball. They start from the 12 of the Chargers.
Here come the Bengals. This crowd is alive at Riverfront. High formation. Wide receivers left and right. Anderson to his tailback, Alexander. Left side. Hits to the 9-yard line. Piled up at the 9 by Woody Lowe. Gain of 3 yards on the play. Second and 7 at the 9.
And again, the Bengals continue to run to the left side. That's because their second-year man out of USC, Anthony Munoz, is there, along with Dave Lapham, number 62. When they first drafted Munoz, number 78, when the Bengals did, Forrest Gregg flew out to USC to personally look at the youngster. They went one-on-one, the two of them did. The kid put some moves on the coach that he himself had not seen. And, of course, he's a Hall of Famer. So he said, we're going to go with the youngster and put him into a starting assignment. He's been sensational ever since.
Emil Harris is in. Alexander's out. Johnson, the lone setback wide receivers, left and right. Dropping back, Anderson sets it up, pumps it into the end zone. Touchdown! Emil Harris for the touchdown. Edwards covering defensively, but he was in there clean for the TD. Jubilation in Cincinnati.
Kenny Anderson had 29 touchdown tosses during the regular season. He had one last week. Emil Harris, 2 on the year, has just caught number 3. And the Bengals, 2 plays after recovering a fumble by Jim Brooks on the kickoff, have taken now a commanding 9-0 lead. Jim Breach about to try and make it number 10.
Right is in the hole for him. Drops down on one knee at the 10-yard line. Breach moves over. Ryder takes a look at him now. Waits to extend the hand, indicating he's ready for the snap, and he's ready. Put down, booted up, and good. Oh, the Cincinnati Bengals have added 7 more, and with the score, the Bengals 10, San Diego nothing. Let's take time out.
Hello?
You're on.
Hello?
Yes, how can I help you?
Oh, well, I was feeling kind of depressed, so I thought I'd cheer myself up, buy a new car, maybe get a...
No names, please.
Of course, I had trouble making decisions even before all the imports.
Sir, on this program, I
But
try
then
to
I've
help.
only test-driven 317 cars.
Well, I find in life you must not just drive, not just look at, but listen to a new car.
Can you give me that again?
Please pay attention. In a more meaningful audio relationship, if a person would have, for example, test listened
Test listened?
to a General Motors car equipped with the Delco GM stereo,
Yeah.
he would have searched inward and found his general motoring outlook brightened.
Yeah,
Let me finish. Delco GM is the leading auto sound specialist. They made the first car stereo.
Wait a minute, lady. You're suggesting I cheer myself up by buying, say, a new Chevrolet, just so
I don't think we should limit ourselves to one particular car division in life.
But
we can also hear great Delco GM sound in Pontiacs, Buicks, Oldsmobiles, Cadillacs, and GMC trucks.
I thought you said no names, please.
And thanks for calling.
The Bengals are a very opportunistic kind of a football team. During the regular season, they outscored their opponents 74-38 in the first quarter. Last week against Buffalo, it was 14-0 Cincinnati. The Bengals on top early against San Diego with 7:06 to play in quarter number 1.
Here's Breach for the kick, end over, and then Brooks is waiting. He's at the 8-yard line, straight upfield to the 10 to the 15, left to the 20, back to the 25-30, outside to the 35-40. Brooks is finally hauled down after a fine return. It'll be spotted about the 42-yard line. Mike Fuller brought him down. So now, trailing by 10 points early in the ballgame, the San Diego Chargers are in possession here once again. Sun is shining here in Cincinnati, but it is cold, cold, cold.
Can we go out where the sun is?
They come up in an I formation. Dan Fouch. Then again, Capoletti. Ahead of Muncie in the eye. Joint hand motion all the way across the left set. Muncie carrying. He struggles. Gets across the 45 to the 46-yard line. Bo Harris in to make the tackle. Three second down and 7 at the 47. As it's spotted now.
Not only is there a big contrast, the fact that the Chargers last week played, it was 84 degrees. It's -9 here today. They jumped out in front over Miami by a score of 24-0. Right now they have fallen behind 10-0.
Now the running backs are split. Jordan in motion for right set all the way across out left. Here's the ball handed to Muncie. He's trying to sweep left, but he's being pulled down. The final big hit. But played by Cameron. Breeden there as well. Didn't find a corner to turn, and it's spotted at the 45 for a loss of 2. Third down and 9 yards to go.
A couple of more wide receivers come in for Eric Coryell and company now. Dwight Scales, 87, checks in, the 5-year man from Grambling. Wes Chandler, number 89, the 4-year pro from Florida, as it's third and long, a passing situation. Keep your eye on number 80, Kellen Winslow, the key man a week ago against the Dolphins.
Winslow comes out to a wing right. 3 receivers on the right side. Pass back to set up. Pumps it, and it's complete to Chandler. Chandler's at the 50, at the 45. Turns on speed to the 40-35, out of bounds. Wes Chandler took it. Run out by Ray Griffith. He got inside the 35-yard line. It'll be brought to the inbound marker and spotted.
We mentioned Chandler had 6 big catches for over 106 yards a week ago against the Buffalo Bills. Just a little clearing pattern that time. Kellen Winslow went deep on a deep fly pattern, cleared it out underneath for Chandler, who got a big block from number 87, Dwight Scales, and a bigger block from Muncy to allow him to turn the corner and carry the ball. The deepest possession by the Chargers into Bengals territory.
First and 10 at the 33. Capoletti ahead of Muncy in the I formation. Winslow in motion across. Snap is stopped by Fouts. Picks it up and hits the deck. Penalty marker on the play. So there's one to be checked out at the line of scrimmage. Indication is it's against San Diego, a procedure penalty. Fred Silva is the referee here this afternoon. He's stepping off the 5, and then he'll tell us about it. Illegal procedure against the San Diego Chargers.
Not only did the phones go out for a while temporarily from the Chargers bench, but Fred Silva's microphone apparently is frozen as well.
I'm glad you said that. I thought my ears had gone out. 2nd and 5 at the 38. Running back to the 9. Jonah on a wide left. Winslow in motion from a wing left. Muncy gets the pitch. It's the left side and gets inside the 35 again up to about the 32-yard line. They get him unstacked there. We have 5 minutes, 16 seconds remaining to be played in the first quarter. Jim LeClaire on the last tackle with Ross Browner. Former Notre Damer. Muncy has gone off the field. Everybody's bundled up. It's the long coats, everybody that has them. Along that sideline.
There are a few in the stands that have taken off their coats, their shirts, and other things.
Capoletti ahead of Brooks in the I formation. Brooks with the pitch. He tries the right side, cuts back. Inside the 30 and gets down there close to the 25, maybe 23-yard line. Brian Hicks in to make the stop.
Very important drive, obviously, in terms of ball possession for the San Diego Chargers, as you look at James Brooks, who led the NFL in total yards, in all-purpose kinds of yards. Simply a power play off to the right side. Kellen Winslow with a big lead block. The Chargers want to keep their defense, which is somewhat of a sieve, off the field as much as possible against the NFL's top-rated passer, Kenny Anderson, even though it is 9 degrees below zero, and the passing game will suffer somewhat. San Diego's secondary suspect at best, so it's important to have a long ball possession, time-consuming kind of a drive and come away with a touchdown.
First and 10 at the 23-yard line for San Diego. Give it to Brooks. He tries the middle. Is upended as he got to the 20-yard line right there. He picked up 3 yards on the play. Ross Browner was the man who had him on his shoulder. It's 2nd down and 7 yards to go.
Ross Browner, of course, former great out of Notre Dame. Substitutions come in. Charlie Joyner checks back in along with Chuck Muncy, it looks like, has just come back in. Kellen Winslow, he's kind of like that 800-pound gorilla, Lindsey. He plays where he wants to. They can use him as a tight end. They can use him as a fullback. They can use him as a wide receiver.
And he has the speed to make the move. He is frequently in motion, as he is just now, from a wing left across right. Dan Fox shortstop swings it out up into the air and almost intercepted. Tried to get it to Muncy. He popped it up into the air. And Jim LeClaire had a shot at intercepting, but it's going to be tough for anybody to control a football up in the air this afternoon.
Ball was right in the grasp of Chuck Muncy, used primarily as a running back. That time, they had the wide receiver, Kellen Winslow, in motion to the near side. The linebacker cleared out, went in motion. Muncy batted the ball up. He's got gloves on. It's tough to control, as did the linebacker, who almost came up with the interception.
3rd down play coming now. 3rd and 7 at the 20-yard line. Capoletti ahead of Muncy in the I formation. Motion across from Joyner out of the left side all the way across out wide right. Muncy tries the right side. Tries to cut back and drive. Got about a yard to the 19. Was thrown back hard by Jim LeClaire. It'll be 4th and 6.
Lindsey, kind of an interesting play call right there. It gives you an idea of how the weather is affecting this football game. Usually on 3rd and 8, the Chargers would put the ball up. Obviously, Cincinnati is thinking pass, and they've gone to the nickel-back defense right there. But instead of risk the turnover, the possible interception, and the fact that the ball is so difficult to throw and obviously to catch when it's 9 degrees below zero, they went with a power sweep to the right side. It left them 6 yards short. So Ralph Benershka, whose 27-yard field goal won it against the Dolphins in overtime, has come in to try and put the Chargers on the board, trailing 10-0.
He'll have a 37-yard attempt here, and Ed Luther will be in the hole for him. Ed Luther, who had a touch of flu this week along with Chuck Muncy. Now the San Diego Chargers are reconvening their huddle. Benershka had picked his spot. Line of scrimmage is the 19. Benershka just takes a practice swing of the foot.
Benershka, by the way, is 5 out of 8 for this distance in the regular season. 1 for 1 against the Dolphins a week ago.
37 yards from the hash mark right. Benershka is poised. Luther is waiting. Here's the snap. Benershka kicks. And it is going wide left. No good. And the ball will be spotted on the 20-yard line. And it will be first and 10. So with the score, Cincinnati 10, San Diego nothing. Let's take time out.
The story of Reggie Williams of the Cincinnati Bengals is a story of personal courage.
I know in these United Way spots, you've heard a lot of stories about a lot of other people's problems. But this is my story. As a child growing up, I had problems with speech and hearing. I know from personal experience of the loneliness, of the feelings of insecurity, of the problems that I had with both teachers and my friends in the classroom. With the fine help of a lot of the volunteers from United Way, I was able to have the confidence to continue my education and even find a lot of enjoyment in learning. I went on to college and got a degree from Dartmouth College. I know there are thousands of kids out there today who need the therapy, who need the help that United Way agencies offers them.
Reggie Williams' fight to overcome his hearing and speech loss as a child has taught him a lesson we all can learn. I guess what we're trying to say is it really does work for all of us, the United Way.
The preceding message on behalf of the United Way furnished by the National Football League. Now, because of the Cincinnati Bengals' success, Cincinnati Mayor David Mann has been eating and drinking a little bit better these days. He's going for a lobster and a shrimp dinner. The Bengals, when they beat the Pittsburgh Steelers to win the AFC Central Division Championship, Mayor Mann made a bet with the mayor of Pittsburgh on the outcome of the game and won a case of Iron City beer. When the Bengals defeated the Buffalo Bills, he won 5 dozen chicken wings. In today's game, he has struck a bet. If San Diego wins, Wilson, the mayor of San Diego, gets 6 sour Broughton dinners, and instead, Cincinnati's mayor gets 6 lobster and 3 pounds of shrimp.
First and 10 now at the 20-yard line for Cincinnati. Give it off to Big Pete Johnson. He tries the left side and gets very little, if anything, piled up just about at the line of scrimmage by Louis Kelcher. So call it 2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line.
You and I get dinner at the airport again. That's the only place open.
That's the only place we can find, at least. You're right.
On a Sunday night. Don't forget, Jack Buck and Pat Summerall have the NFC Championship coming up later today on most of these same CBS Radio Network stations at 4:45 Eastern Time. The Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers.
Even as we speak, they are poised in sunny California. It's 2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line. Anderson. Play action. Bootlegs right. Heading for the sideline, and he goes out of bounds. As he got up to about the 25, 26-yard line, maybe more than that as he went out of bounds. Lyndon King ran him out. Play action with the play coming left, and he bootleg right and took it out of bounds.
A design play, by the way. Kenny Anderson leading all NFL quarterbacks in rushing with 318 yards on the year. They faked the power sweep. They've been running left all afternoon. They faked it to Pete Johnson. It was simply the naked bootleg out there with Kenny Anderson all alone with his tight end, Dan Ross, the third-year man from Northeastern, as the lead blocker.
3rd and 3 at the 27-yard line. Third down play coming now for the Cincinnati Bengals. They even up the running back. Steve Kreider's in there. And pass play goes incomplete to Kreider out in the right flat. That'll bring on the punting unit now. Cincinnati Bengals leading by a score of 10-0. Will have to give it up. We have 1 minute, 43 seconds left to play in the first quarter.
Kreider was open out in the right flat, but the ball was thrown behind him. Obviously, again, it's 9 degrees below zero. The wind chill factor, we are told, 55 degrees below zero down on the field. So the passers are having a very tough time of it so far this afternoon. Fouts for the Chargers, and Kenny Anderson, the NFL's top-rated passer for the Bengals.
Pat McAnally back to do the punting now. He of Harvard, and dropping back in tandem. Brooks is deep, and Chandler is about 15 yards upfield ahead of him. McAnally, hands on knees, waiting, gets the snap. Boots the football. Chandler's waiting. He's got it at the 39. Goes right to the 40. Breaks one tackle, gets to the 45, and goes out of bounds. Run out by Guy Frazier. So it'll be a 1st and 10 now. As once again, the San Diego Chargers get the ball. They have been unable to score so far in this ball game, and we are very late in the first quarter.
Chances are it will be 80 degrees and sunny in Honolulu for the Pro Bowl game on January the 31st, and why aren't we there now? The best of conditions when the best in the NFL meet in the season finale. Players are looking forward to it, so are Jack Buck and Hank Stram. How come Buck gets all these games in the warm weather? I don't understand it. You can hear it here. The Pro Bowl game on CBS Radio Sports. Don Shula of the Dolphins will coach the AFC squad. John McKay of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will coach the NFC squad. Fouts now in the passing department. 2 out of 5 for 24 yards. Anderson 3 out of 6 for 31 yards.
As play is resumed, the San Diego Chargers get the ball 1st and 10 at their own 45. Excellent field position here. The numbers game is what everybody was playing around Cincinnati this morning. What have you heard? What's the weather? What's the temperature? What's the wind chill factor? I was on a plane flying in from San Francisco last night, and about halfway across the country, the pilot came on and said, for those of you going to Cincinnati who plan to attend the ball game, let us tell you that at this moment, the wind chill factor in Cincinnati is 50 degrees below zero. I landed this morning at 6:30, and starting in the cab, the radio was on. And the weather report came on the radio station, and they said it is 12 degrees below zero, 62 degrees below zero is the wind chill factor.
And not much warmer than that in the hotel.
It's cold, folks. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Handing it off this time, Chuck Muncie. Muncie fumbles the football, but San Diego has retained possession at the 50-yard line. Big pile up. They get him unstacked slowly. And now the indication that possession has been retained by San Diego.
You know, we can joke and have a little fun with it. It's 9 below zero, but psychologically, the Chargers are in the sun end of the field right now. It's got to be a few degrees warmer over there. It's got to feel a little bit warmer with the sun beating down on you, as opposed to the enclosed side here on the near side, where the Bengals are in the shade.
2nd and 6 at the 49-yard line. Chandler in motion across from the right set. Now Muncie tries the left side. Got across the 50 and picked up a couple down to the 48-yard line. Again, about 3 overall, which will make it 3rd down and 3 yards to go for the San Diego Chargers. Trying to get underway here at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. Browner and Cameron made the last tackle for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Just about 40 seconds left to go, Lindsey, in the first quarter. It's been a fast first quarter. Surprising because we expected an aerial duel, and I think Don Coryell has decided to, at least for the moment, sustain his passing attack. The fact Fouts is having trouble controlling the football because it is so cold.
They're even having trouble with the snap. Waiting now as Fouts up there once again. He's got it. They leave it on the ground. Chuck Muncie tries the right side. He gets it to the 45-yard line. Now they'll take a look for the possible first down. Just trying to pick it up with big Chuck Muncie, one of the fine running backs in the National Football League.
Muncie's got over 5,100 yards in just 6 seasons in the NFL.
He just got a first down, too.
Chargers running to the right side. Ed White, Russ Washington are over there, guard and tackle respectively. They generally run to the right side. By contrast, the Bengals will run left.
First down, 10 yards to go. The ball is at the 45-yard line. Clock running and time is run out. That's the end of the first quarter with the score. Cincinnati Bengals 10, San Diego Chargers nothing.
This buzz for all those lovely ladies on the sidelines who help give the home team a definite advantage. This time, let's hear it for the cheerleaders.
It's buzz for you. There's no one else who does it quite the way you do. So here's to you. You know it is, it's only what you say, it's what you do. It's buzz for you.
Jack, they work harder than you think. You said it, Coach, so here's to all those pretty pom-pom girls who dance, yell, and scream to keep the crowd on its feet. Here's to you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
It's buzz for you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, and you're sure prettier than those fullbacks and linebackers.
Hey, thanks a lot, Hank.
No, not you, the cheerleader.
For all you do.
This bud's for you. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
Nobody agrees as to what the ultimate passing combination was, but there's no contest about the ultimate mealtime combination. It's Denny's Restaurant's 3-egg ultimate omelet, stuffed with grilled onions, bacon, green peppers, mushrooms, sausage, and sliced tomatoes. Then it's topped with mozzarella cheese and served with fruit salad. The ultimate omelet at the special price this month of only $2.79, and only at Denny's, where you'll like our prices and you'll love our food.
A week ago against the Buffalo Bills, the Bengals enjoyed a 14-0 advantage after the first quarter. It's 10-0 here, Cincinnati on top. By contrast, a week ago against the Dolphins, the Chargers were out in front, 24-0 very early in the football game. San Diego has yet to score.
Here comes San Diego, 1st and 10 at the Cincinnati 45-yard line. Running back to the eye, Kellen Winslow in motion across. Fouts now passed it out there to the right side to Kellen Winslow. And he is to the 40-yard line and fouled up there by Lou Breeden. It's going to be inside the 40 at the 38-yard line.
Big number 80, Kellen Winslow, of course, is the NFL's leading pass receiver again for the second consecutive season. The big guy, an amazing game a week ago, third year out of Missouri with 16 catches. Prior to that pass by Fouts, he was 2 out of 5, so right now he is 3 out of 6 in passing for a total of 30 yards.
Second down, 3 yards to go at the 38. Eric Seaver's in there to double tight end alignment. They're in a wing right and an I formation. Wing back Winslow in motion across left. Give it to the up back Cappelletti. Tries the right side. Cappelletti's inside the 35, 33-yard line. I think he got the first down. At last spurt, the ball is spotted. Bo Harris from LSU had to make the tackle. Move the chain, says the head linesman. Burrow Toller. And they do move them. First and 10 at the 33.
Cappelletti, of course, out of Penn State. Happy this year as his Nittany Lions upset USC in the Fiesta Bowl.
San Diego Chargers back in their huddle already. The Cincinnati Bengals have deployed their defense. Then Don Messi comes over the ball for San Diego. Winslow indicating to Wes Chandler that he is a wide left. The Chandler moves out. Now Dan Fouts dropping back, rushes out. Screen left, taking by Winslow. Winslow to the 25, 20. Goes on 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Kellen Winslow on a screen right, took it all the way in for the touchdown from 33 yards out. So San Diego is on the scoreboard.
And what a play that was by Dan Fouts, because number 14, the quarterback for the San Diego Chargers, was almost in the grasp of big number 83, Eddie Edwards, a huge defensive end, 6'5", 256, in his 5th year out of Miami of Florida. Fouts picked it up, came back with a little stutter step across the right side. Winslow gets a great lead block and rambles in for the score. Bob Rush threw it, 5-year man out of Memphis State, and the Chargers are on the board.
Bernushka will attempt the conversion now. Ed Luther's in the hole for him. Luther down on one knee, hand out stretch, puts the ball down. Bernushka boots it up, and it's good. 7 points for the San Diego Chargers. So with the score, Cincinnati Bengals 10, San Diego Chargers 7. Let's take time out.
For years, your TV's been telling you what to watch. Now, you can tell your TV with the RCA Video Disc Player, the machine that plays video discs of great entertainment on your TV. Raging Bull, Rocky, Kramer vs. Kramer, Casablanca, comedy, concerts, you name it, you see it when you want to see it. An RCA Video Disc starting at just $15. Hey, it's your TV. Why not watch what you want to watch?
Buy the player now and get $50 or 3 video discs direct from RCA. Offer good only at participating RCA dealers through this February 9th.
Chick Super 2 announces.
Macho Shave. Get Super 2 for the Macho Shave.
Don't just get close. Get macho close with Chic Super 2. Each twin blade honed to the ultimate sharp for shaves so close they're
macho close.
Also fits Atra and Track 2 razors.
Macho Shave.
Get macho close.
Chic Super 2.
San Diego Chargers come right back. They go 55 yards in 6 plays. They use just under 3 minutes on the clock. A 33-yard scoring strike from Dan Fouts to Kellen Winslow. San Diego right back in this AFC Championship.
David Verser has dropped back. Archie Griffin's back there as well to assist him. He's upfield about 3 yards on the other side. Rolf Benerschke will kick it off from the 35. Red Silver's whistle, and here comes Benerschke. End over end. Verser's watching, lets it hit on the 7. He takes it at the 5, goes left to the 10, to the 15, 20. Verser breaks out to the 25, 30, 35, shoots him out, 40, 45-yard line, and he stopped there. What a return. So it's going to be a first and 10 for the Cincinnati Bengals on their own 45-yard line.
David Verser, wide receiver, number 81 for the Cincinnati Bengals. A busted wide receiver, excels on the specialty teams, averaging 29 yards on his kickoff return. Broke through the wedge at about the 12-yard line, ran around a couple of the San Diego Chargers. Bob Greger had a shot at him. Benerschke missed him at about the 35, and it's first and 10 Cincinnati.
Wide receivers left and right. Lone set back is Pete Johnson. Ed Anderson's waiting for the snap. He's got it. Play action. Comes out right, keeps the ball, throws it on the run, and it's complete. Taken by Ross. And the big tight end moves it to the 45-yard line before he was sacked up. It's there by Willie Buchanan.
Ross, of course, had 6 receptions a week ago. The big guy in his 3rd year out of Northeastern. That is a design play. As Kenny Anderson went back, the rush was put on by number 68, Leroy Jones, 6'8", 260 in his 6th year out of Norfolk State. And Anderson evaded him, tossed it to Ross, the big tight end, just shy of first down yardage.
Second down, less than a yard to go at the 45-yard line. Wide receivers left and right. Johnson still is the lone setback. Motion across from the wing left. Now dropping back Anderson. Goes it to Alexander. We're at 35-yard line, the 30-yard line. He goes out of bounds. First and 10. At the 30-yard line of San Diego, Pete Shaw made the tackle.
Kenny Anderson right on the money again. And Lindsey, correct me if you think I'm wrong, but it seems to me that the home field is playing right into the Bengals' hands. Kenny Anderson seems much more confident passing the football than does Dan Fouts. Fouts seems a little bit tentative, as do most of his receivers, and it seems as if the bad weather is having an effect on the Chargers much more than the Cincinnati Bengals.
I think you're exactly right. The Bengals have it first and 10 at the San Diego 30. They even up the running backs. Now they move Alexander to a wing left. Wide receivers left and right. Johnson is deep. Anderson waits, gets the ball, drops back, he's looking again. Looks left and throws left, and it's complete over there to Collingsworth. And Chris Collingsworth is inside the 20-yard line before he's stacked up. Mike Williams on the corner made the tackle. So it's going to be another first down. Collingsworth with the catch from Ken Anderson.
Collingsworth, the rookie out of Florida. Good hands, good speed. He's 6'5", 192. The tight end went down, cleared out the zone. Anderson fired underneath. Collingsworth came across, made the reception. Another first down for the Bengals. And right now, Kenny Anderson picking apart that sieve of the secondary of the San Diego Chargers. He's got them bouncing around out there like a pinball machine.
First and 10 at the 19-yard line. Archie Griffin's in the backfield. Alexander's out. Griffin in motion outside right. Johnson the lone setback now. Anderson now on a reverse play to Chris Collingsworth. He gets to about the 16 before he is stopped. An end around, as it were. Laslovic made the tackle. Gain of about 3 yards on the play. Will make it second down and 7 at the 16-yard line. Bengals are leading by a score of 10-7.
Kind of surprising, Lindsey, that this late in the second quarter we've only seen the one turnover, the fumble by the San Diego Chargers. Otherwise, the Bengals and San Diego doing a pretty good job of holding on to that football. It's 9 below 0.
Collingsworth and Curtis double to the left side. Anderson waiting for the snap. He's got it, drops back to look. Wants to throw right and does. Gets it out to Pete Johnson, who drops it. Incomplete in the right flat. Forward pass, incomplete in the right flat. Lyndon King was covering defensively. It's third down and 7 at the 16-yard line. You can't blame anybody on the field today who fails to hang on to a football. It is cold, cold, cold. Some 50 degrees below 0 wind chill factor at game time. Now the next play has been sent in from the sideline by Forrest Gregg and his board of strategy. Bengals are in their huddle, and here they come. Up to the line. Kreider is in there now. Kreider goes to a wing right. Johnson's the lone setback for Anderson. Anderson with the ball, short drop. Sets it up and throws, and it is complete down to the 1-yard line. Isaac Curtis at the 1-yard line. First down and goal to go Cincinnati. Willie Buchanan was the man there who was beaten on the play.
A beautifully conceived pass pattern because Collingsworth, the rookie from Florida, went deep running a post pattern and just almost ran out of the end zone and cleared it out underneath for Curtis, who was wide open down at about the 2-yard line. Anderson looking left and came back to his secondary receiver, found Curtis wide open, and as Lindsey called it, he beat number 46 for the San Diego Chargers. Check it. 48 also there, Allen Ellis.
Hurst is in there, Emil Harris is in there. Johnson with the ball. Touchdown! Touchdown! Taken in for the Cincinnati Bengals. They lead it 16-7. They have a conversion attempt coming. Jim Breach will come in to attempt the conversion, and Kreider will come in to hold for it.
And again, the Bengals run left, right over Dave Lapham and Anthony Munoz, the second-year man from USC. Pete Johnson, 17 carries, 45 yards, 1 touchdown last week against the Buffalo Bills. Used as a battering ram more because it was Charles Alexander who had such the big game. But today, Pete Johnson, led by the pass catching of the Cincinnati Bengals, and Kenny Anderson is picking apart the Charger defense.
Kreider's down on one knee now, waiting for the snap. Breach is poised, ready to boot. We're waiting for the snap. Here it is. The ball is put down. Breach boots it up. And it's good. And so now, with the score, the Cincinnati Bengals 17, the San Diego Chargers 7. We'll be back in just a moment.
You know just where you're going, and you're going all the way. Night or day, we're gonna help you get there, and we'll get you there with time to spare. Transportation you can trust, Atlanta, discover us, Northside Airport Express.
Atlanta and Georgia football fans know where they're going, and everybody at Northside Travel Group is with you from the first game of the season to the final playoff, helping you get there with complete travel agency services of Northside Travel, with charter coaches from Northside Charter, and with direct service to the international airport from Northside Airport Express. When you think of travel, think of the Northside Travel Group, Northside Travel, Northside Charter, and of course,
Northside Airport Express.
Call 455-1600.
This is Heartbeat.
After falling behind 10-0, the Chargers came back with an impressive drive of their own to close the San Diego deficit to 3 points, but back came the Bengals on their next possession. They go out in front by 10 points again, 17-7. Pete Johnson punches it over from the 2, 9:57 in the first half to play.
Jim Breach with a knuckleball downfield to the 25-yard line. It's picked up over there by Pete Shaw. Shaw is running along the 30-yard line, and is stacked up as he tried to skirt wide right. It's going to be at about the 27. Oliver Davis, the man who cut him off there. Now they decide to spot it up about the 30-yard line, so call it 1st and 10 at the 30.
And another key possession as far as the Chargers are concerned now. 9:48 left to go in this first half. They're down by 10 points in the championship for the AFC. They like to get on the board again and close it back to a 3-point deficit, but they like to do it and use up some time. Not have that defense out there because Kenny Anderson on that last drive simply picked them apart.
Dan Fouts waiting for the snap. Quick pitch. Taken to the right side by Chuck Muncie. The defense is there, and he gets a yard or so, and that's about all. Closed off by Bo Harris and Jim LeClaire. 33-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and 7 at the 33. Bengals are leading it by a score of 17-7, and we have 9 minutes, 26 seconds left to play in the first half.
Kind of a dangerous play there, Lindsey. First the pitch back with Muncie wearing gloves on a field that's 9 degrees below zero. Muncie prone to fumbleitis anyway, so they're kind of catch-22. They're playing with some fire.
Eric Severs at the tight end. Winslow is in motion across from wing right. Quick pitch now, and it's brought to the left side. Muncie carrying, but he can't find a place to go as Bobby Kemp hits him and hits him hard. It is at the 34-yard line. So there was a gain of a yard on the play. Make it 3rd down and 6 yards to go.
And again, you're looking at pitch sweep left, pitch sweep right for the San Diego Chargers. Keep in mind now, this is a team that set NFL records for passing this year and ranked number 1 in total offense. Dan Fouts setting record upon record. Most passes, most completions, total yard gains. And yet San Diego content, trailing by 10 points to try to eke it out on the ground.
Dwight Scales is in for tight end Eric Severs. They go to another wide receiver here on 3rd down. Dan Fouts has the ball. He's dropping back. Quick snap, and he pops it into Charlie Joyner. He is complete at the 45-yard line, and that'll be enough for a 1st and 10. Bobby Kemp in to make the tackle. 1st down for the Chargers at their own 45.
And, of course, number 18, Charlie Joyner, in his 13th year out of Grambling. Good speed, 5'11", 183. The good hands, looked the ball in, wrapped his gloves around it, kept it right there in the breadbasket. Charlie Joyner should be very familiar to these Bengals fans. He played here in Cincinnati for many, many years.
Here comes the Chargers once again. Wide receivers left and right. Split the running back, Dan Fouts. Backpedaling and setting. Hops it again, and this time complete to Kellen Winslow at the 50-yard line. Picked up 5 yards to the tight end, 2nd and 5 at the 50. Jim LeClaire and Glenn Cameron. Linebackers converging on the tackle.
Fouts throwing on 1st down, which is what you've got to do against the Bengals defense to keep them honest. They've been playing run. Cincinnati have been looking for the run, and San Diego have been playing right into their hand with those sweeps to the left and the right side on 1st down. You get those defensive linemen thinking pass a little bit on 1st down. It helps to open up the running game a little bit.
Severs has come back into the ball game. Capoletti's gone off alone. Set back is Muncie. Winslow is wide right. Joyner in motion back to the inside. Try the draw play to Muncie. Draw play, and he's across the 45 and gets down to the 41-yard line before he stops. Cameron, Williams, Harris, all there. 1st and 10, another 1st down. for the San Diego Chargers. They move steadily downfield now, with the Bengals leading it 17-7. In this AFC Championship game, the winner goes to the Super Bowl.
Chuck Muncie so far, Lindsey, 12 carries, 41 yards in the rushing. What does it mean when you start shivering with 8 minutes left in the first half?
Well, it means that you're catching up to what I've been doing for the last 10 minutes. Running back to the 9 formation. Give it to the tailback. James Brooks carried, and he got to the 38 for 3. It'll be second down and 7 yards to go. San Diego at the Cincinnati 38-yard line.
It's 9 degrees below zero. The wind chill factor at game time was about a minus 55 degrees. We're down in the baseball broadcasting booth where they have a heater. The heater's operating at about minus 5.
You're right. That's about what it is down there. It's a nice heater, though. It looks good.
We're overlooking home plate, but they don't run a lot of plays over here by home plate.
Second down and 7 yards to go. Motion across by Wes Chandler. Driving back Dan Fouts. Takes a look, swings it out to Brooks. He's got a little bit of a screen. He tries to cut back to the inside and gets back out there to the 33, 34-yard line. Eddie Edwards on the tackle, along with Bobby Kemp. That's paused 5 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the CBS Radio Network.
Atlanta's Radio, 68 AM, WRNG, North Atlanta.
Lindsey Nelson with Jim Kelly in Cincinnati, Ohio. Third down, 2 yards to go for the San Diego Chargers. Ball at the 33-yard line of the Cincinnati Bengals. Crowd is trying to exhaust the defense now of their hometown Bengals. Dwight Scales is in the ball game. He's in the wide left. Dan Fouts dropping back, takes a look. Wants to throw right, goes long to Joyner. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Breeden. Lou Breeden takes it at the 6-yard line. First and 10 Cincinnati on Lou Breeden's interception. So with the score, the Bengals 17, the Chargers 7. Let's take time out.
Liberals and conservatives rarely agree on anything.
That's not true.
Yes, it is. But when it comes to the Buick Electra, common sense dictates otherwise. It uses fuel conservatively and luxury liberally. Powered by an available fuel-efficient diesel, Electra's 22 EPA estimated MPG is pretty impressive. Use estimated MPG for comparisons. Actual mileage may be different. Buick Electra Park Avenue.
Well, it's got my vote. No, it doesn't. It's got mine.
At your Buick dealers today.
If you want the agent who handles life insurance needs for all kinds of people, check with State Farm. Whether you're a young executive, a blue-collar worker, a career woman, a single, or a young family just starting out, check with your State Farm agent. State Farm has the variety of life insurance plans to meet your changing needs, all at a good price. For sensible, affordable life insurance, check your yellow pages with a good neighbor agent near you.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Number 34, Lou Breeden, the cornerback from North Carolina Central in his 4th year, came up with the interception. His 5th this year, his 15th of his career in just 4 years. And a turnover against the Chargers, that's number 2. They've lost the ball once on a fumble, once on the interception. Ironic, I suppose, it was Breeden, because when Cincinnati beat the Chargers 40-17 earlier in the year, Breeden returned a Dan Fouts pass 102 yards for a Bengals touchdown.
So now the Bengals have it first and 10 at their own 6-yard line. The running backs are split. Ken Anderson waiting for the snap. Wide receivers left and right. Giving it out to Pete Johnson. Pass the left side. 10. 13-yard line. Stop there at the gain of 7. It's going to be second down and 3 yards to go. The big man. They list him at 249 because they think 250 sounds too big. Lyndon King in to make the tackle.
I like how when we go away for a commercial, you're breaking up the wooden chairs for tinder. You going to build a fire here?
I've got every plan for it. Unless there's a change in the weather, and I see no hope of that. 4.5 minutes left to play in the first half. Running back to the 9 formation. Alexander behind Pete Johnson. Wide receivers left and right. Ken Anderson waiting for the 7. He's got it. Gives it to his tailback. Anderson to the left side. He got one and only one as he was sacked up by the defense of the Chargers at the 14-yard line to make it third down and 2 yards to go.
And a big third down call now for Kenny Anderson and the Bengals. Look for play-action passing. Excuse me, it seems to be working very effectively where they faked either Johnson or Alexander. A little rollout by Anderson. They try to suck the linebacker in and then dump it out. The Bengals are 3 out of 5 on third down conversions. Big play for the San Diego defense. Obviously, after the turnover, they would like to halt the Bengals right here, force them to punt, and set the offense up in reasonably good field position.
So here come the Bengals. Wide receivers left and right. Lone setback is Johnson. Alexander's moved up to a wing right. Now, Anderson coming right. Unloads to his tight end, incomplete. A move made there at the last minute by linebacker Woody Lowe, who got a hand on it to deflect it. So it is 4th down, and the punting unit's coming on. Cincinnati has to give it up.
Woody Lowe, of course, in his 6th year out of Alabama. You can't play a wide receiver coming out of the backfield any better than he did that time. He just got the hand in, belted it down. Lowe, of course, came up with that key interception, ran it back for a touchdown a year ago against the Dolphins in overtime to get the Chargers into the AFC Championship.
Pat McAnally's in to do the punting. He is setting up now in deep punt formation. Back in his own end zone. Brooks is deep, and Chandler's upfield in tandem about 10 yards in front of him. Brooks is back in his own 47-yard line. McAnally hands on knees, waits for the snap and gets it. Steps up, boots the football. Chandler's going to field it. No, he does not. He lets it go, and it is bounding around the 45-yard line. So it's going to be San Diego's ball, 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. And with the score, the Bengals 17, the Chargers 7. Let's take time out.
On city streets and country roads, International. Making deliveries, hauling loads, International. Whatever job you got to do, the number one name in trucks means saving for you, International.
If you want a heavy-duty truck that'll cost less to run, you can't do better than International. Our new Fuel Fighter trucks are specially equipped to cut fuel and operating costs by thousands of dollars. See an International dealer soon for a free computer analysis that'll show just how much you can save with International. And now's the time to do it, because International is offering special prices. So cut your costs and increase your profits. Go with International.
Whatever job's got to be done, International can cost you less to run. We're the number one name in trucks, International.
3 minutes, 24 seconds left to go in the first half. The AFC Championship sold out Riverfront Stadium, 9 degrees below zero, a minus 55 wind chill factor down on the playing surface. It's an artificial surface. It is not slippery. The footing has been good so far throughout the first half, and it's a very hard field, however. There is no give down in the field.
1st and 10 for the Chargers at the Bengals 45-yard line. Lone setback. Fouts is up waiting for the snap motion. Joyner back toward the inside. Fouts retreat. Throws right, and Winslow's got it. Winslow dropped the ball as he was headed for the sideline. Had it just for a moment. Bobby Kemp was the defender there who hit him, and as he started the sideline, dropped the ball. It is incomplete. So it is 2nd and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Timing pattern down and out. Fouts released the ball before Winslow made his move. It was right in the gut, but the big tight end could not hang on. Fouts comes right back to the air following the interception, so the San Diego Chargers came out unscathed as the defense forced the punt, and they got good field position.
Bengals are leading by a score of 17-7 over the San Diego Chargers. Double receivers to the left side. Wide receiver right, lone setback. Now they pump, and it is completed out to the 35-yard line and on down to the 33-yard line to Eric Sievers. Tight end. Brian Hicks made the tackle, and that's enough for a first down San Diego.
That time, Fouts gave it the pump fake. Eric Sievers, number 85, 22 catches, 276 yards on the year for the San Diego Chargers. He is a rookie out of Maryland, 6'4", 234. Good speed. They like him a lot. Good hands, good concentration. That time they gave it the pump fake, Fouts did. He wanted Joyner to run the hook and go. Joyner read it differently, ran a crossing pattern, so Fouts came back to the right flat and picked up a first down.
At the 33-yard line. Handed off this time to Chuck Muncie. And Muncie drives into the 26-yard line. Picked up 7 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 3 yards to go. Hickson on the tackle. Clock is running 2 minutes, 24 seconds. We'll have an automatic timeout, of course, when we get to the 2 minutes. Along either sideline, there are hot seats. There are heated seats, and there are only 20 of them. And somebody said before the start of the ball game, there will be no rookies sitting in the hot seats today. Choice seats.
I forgot to tell you that for the championship game, I'm supposed to go down in the locker room and do interviews at halftime where it's warm. I'll be back up about midway through the third quarter.
All right, the clock is round down to 2 minutes. The automatic timeout. The Bengals are leading 17-7. We'll be back in just a moment.
The football season is over when you play your last game. But with a set of sheepskin seat covers from Averill Exclusives, you'll feel like a winner for all seasons. Hi, everybody. This is John James of the Atlanta Falcons. Ever since the hot days of July, I've had the pleasure of driving around in the luxurious comfort of my natural sheepskin seat covers. Now that it's colder than a referee's heart, the skins have really begun to pay off. Some of my teammates even call me a man for all seasons. Let's take time out for my friends at Averill Exclusives with this special offer.
Thanks, John. Want to avoid cold seats this winter? Till January 31st, Averill will fit your car with their most popular genuine sheepskin seat cover for just $69. Save even more with a pair. Averill brings you true European driving comfort with automotive specialties like soft leather driving gloves, plush floor mats, Porsche sunglasses, and other accessories. Just dial COMFORT, that's COMFORT, on your phone for comfort in your car. Averill exclusive, Roswell Road at West Wayuka, 2 miles inside I-285.
Along with Lindsey Nelson, Jim Kelly back at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati. The Bengals 17, the Chargers 7. The winner goes on to the Super Bowl. The loser goes home to watch and to listen. Next on CBS Radio at 4:45 Eastern Time, Jack Buck and Pat Summerall. The 49ers play host to the Dallas Cowboys to see who will win the NFC and oppose the winner of this afternoon's game. And coming up at halftime, Brett Musburger joins us live from Candlestick Park in San Francisco with Terry Bradshaw.
Ball has been brought out of the inbound marker and spotted outside the 25-yard line. Second down, 4 yards to go. Severs has gone off. Charlie Joint is coming on, and Fouts is just coming on and passing Severs. He said, don't go off the field. Come back into the huddle. Severs now starts back to the huddle. Now looks back to the sideline. Does join the huddle, and Wes Chandler goes off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
That reminds you of last week when the Buffalo Bills sent 2 men out, Ron Jesse and Lou Facone, with 15 seconds gone on the 30-second play clock.
Second down, 4 yards to go. Taken by Muncie. Drives in to the 21.
And it's a first down.
It is a first and 10. He got 5. Browner and Whitley made the tackle.
And, of course, when that 30-second clock wound down, the ball was snapped, but the flag was thrown. Quarterback Joe Ferguson completed the pass to Lou Facone for an apparent first down that would have kept the Buffalo drive alive against the Bengals. But instead it negated the first down. It was 4th. He threw incomplete in the end zone to Roland Hook. And for all intents and purposes, that was the ball game. Cincinnati won it 28-21. That's why they're here today.
First down play now. Winslow from wing left in motion outside right. Dan Fouts with the ball. Dropping back. Steps up. Looks. Throws to Winslow in the corner. And it's intercepted. And run out. Taken by Kemp. He's out to the 10 to the 15. He's out to the 18-yard line. Bobby Kemp. Winslow is down in the corner of the end zone. Winslow is down and hurt. The officials see him now, and they're running over to see about him. Members of the training staff coming on to see about Big Killin Winslow as the interception was picked off by Kemp. He returned it to the 18 where it's first and 10.
Bobby Kemp, number 26, a rookie out of Cal Fullerton. That is his first interception on the season. So the last 2 San Diego drives have ended in interceptions. Lou Breeden picked one off. Now Bobby Kemp comes back. San Diego has turned the ball over 3 times, and the Cincinnati Bengals have not turned the ball over at all. Winslow was injured coming back for the football. He was hit by number 27 for the Bengals, Brian Hicks, the second-year man out of McNeese. He is still down in the right corner of the end zone. And that would be catastrophe for the San Diego Chargers if he is out for the rest of this game. Of course, he got up so many times. Now he's up under his own power, and he trots back over toward the bench for the San Diego Chargers. What a football game. What a magnificent football game this man played last week against the Miami Dolphins. 16 receptions. He kept getting up time and time again late in the fourth quarter, again in the overtime session, and put on just an all-pro performance, and that's what he is, and he'll be in the Pro Bowl game here on CBS Radio coming up later in January.
So now the Bengals have the ball. They have the lead. They're leading at 17-7. 1 minute, 8 seconds remaining in the first half. Ken Anderson brings them up in an I formation, wide receivers left and right. Pete Johnson is the up back. Said they give it to Alexander. He tries the left side, and he's struggling to the 20-yard line. So it'll be second down and 9 at the 20. Gary Big Hands Johnson in there on the tackle. Clock is running. It's wound down now to 50 seconds remaining to be played in the first half. Nobody down in any particular hurry about trying to stop the clock.
Lindsey, Bengals have all 3 timeouts left. You've got to like the strategy if you're a Bengals fan here. You're up by 10 points, 17-7. Chargers have turned the ball over 3 times. The Bengals have not. You don't want to risk a turnover, something that might ignite San Diego just before the half.
Second down play coming. Running backs in an I formation. Alexander the tailback. Ken Anderson waiting for the snap. Got it now. Gives it to Pete Johnson. Big fella gets the yard out to the 21-yard line. Well, it'll be third down and 8 yards to go. Louis Kelcher made the tackle. 13 seconds. That will have been the last play of the first half. Down to 10 seconds, and nobody's going to stop it. Nobody's going to snap it. So the clock is down to 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and that's that. There's the gun sounding the end of the first half with the score. Cincinnati Bengals 17, San Diego Chargers 7.
Kelly, Lindsey Nelson back at sold-out Riverfront Stadium, 9 below zero. 9 degrees below zero at game time with the wind chill factor, minus 55. You can attest to that.
I can attest to that, and the San Diego Chargers, it appeared somewhat reluctantly, have come back onto the field here at halftime. So they're loosening up over in front of their bench on the far side of the field from our broadcast position here. And the Cincinnati Bengals came out earlier. They, of course, are leading by a score of 17-7 here at halftime of this AFC Championship game. And the winner, of course, goes to the Super Bowl. You'll hear all the Super Bowl 16 excitement on Sunday, January 24th on the CBS Radio Network. Jack Buck and Hank Stram will be in the Pontiac Silverdome for that terrific game. Super Bowl 16 begins at 3:45 p.m. Eastern Time on Super Sunday, January 24th. Hear it here.
Glad to see my lips are not the only one that are freezing up here. You a believer in all those statistics? You think that they tell a story as far as pass completions and yardage gained?
I've never thought that statistics were all that indicative, really, because statistics can be very misleading. They can tell you the story of what happened, but they can also tell you a story that didn't happen.
I was reading in one of the publications over the week, it said figures are always relative. 2 croutons make little impact on a Caesar salad. 2 wives are an overabundance.
Well, I'd say that's indicative. I really would. Now the San Diego Chargers are out there on the field huddling at the 35-yard line. Huddling along the sideline are the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals break their huddle and come onto the field. Now the Bengals will be teeing it up for the kickoff. You'll recall that at the start of the ball game, the Bengals won the toss and elected to kick off. So the choice is that of the San Diego Chargers to begin the second half, and they have elected to receive. So, as we did at the start of the ball game, we'll have Cincinnati kicking off to San Diego to start playing the second half. On the tee now, on the 35-yard line. Jim Breach is poised. Brooks is deep, center deep for San Diego to receive the kickoff. With his hands thrust into the pockets of his jersey. Bouncing up and down to try to stay in motion to keep warm. Breach turns and looks at the official back there and says, "I'm ready." For what exactly are we waiting? We are waiting for Fred Silva, who is going to go up and have a word with one of his officials. So Silva goes all the way up near the ball.
He could have done this before the game. There's absolutely no reason.
And whatever the message was, it's been delivered, and Silva now is coming all the way back down to take his position behind the offensive or receiving team. Here comes Breach and the kickoff. It is over at the 13-yard line, taken by Bodwin. Bodwin gets back up to the 25, the 30, and across to the 31-yard line. I beg your pardon. Makes that Guy Frazier on the tackle. So it is first down and 10 yards to go now. Ball is spotted at the 31-yard line. And the San Diego Chargers see what they can do about moving it with the Bengals leading by a score of 17-7. Dan Foss breaks the huddle. Moving up to the line. Chuck Munchie's the long setback. Join us in the slot right. Wes Chandler wide right. Foss for the ball. Giving it off to Munchie. Tries the right side. Bill at the 30-yard line for a loss of a yard. Just never could find an opening. Kept coming wide right, 2nd and 10 at the 30-yard line. Ken Riley along with Eddie Edwards finally brought him down. 2nd down and 11 yards to go at the 30-yard line.
Well, we just got an updated weather forecast. We have picked up 3 degrees. We're having a heat wave now. We've gone from -9 to -6. However, the wind chill factor has picked up. It's now a -60 with the wind chill factor. The winds are almost now 20 miles per hour. There is a forecast of bitter cold. That's brilliant. And more snow.
All right, Dan Foss again retreating. Throws left. And it's taken at the 40-yard line. Charlie Joyner gathered it in, was hit immediately. It's going to be marked just short of the 40. Reggie Williams on the tackle there. Not enough for the first down. They leave the ball for a moment and take a long look before moving it to the inbounds marker.
I didn't think it could snow when it was this cold.
Well, it hasn't this afternoon.
We are told the delay just before the beginning of the second half was they had to close the garage door at the far end of the stadium.
I'm all for that. Third down and 2 yards to go. Running backs in an I formation. Muncie to the right side. He got one. Did he get the other one? He was piled up as he got to the 41-yard line. Breeden and Cameron on the tackle. So they'll take a look now to check for the possible first down. And they're going to bring out the chain. Burl Tola, the head linesman, comes over to pick it up. And they're measuring where the ball lay before they spot it. Extend the chain. First down at the 41-yard line. First and 10 for the San Diego Chargers. Cavalletti goes off the field. The Bengals are leading it 17-7 with the second half having just begun. Receivers double to the right side, wing back to the right side as well. That's Winslow. Muncie gets the handoff, takes it in out of the 44-yard line. He picks up 3 yards on the play. It'll be second down and 7 yards to go.
And again, keep in mind, you're looking at the NFL's offensive leader, the San Diego Chargers, grinding it out here in the early moments of the second half. 12:35 left to go in the third quarter, and the Bengals are up on top by a score of 17-7. Chuck Muncie, who just carried, the number 2 rusher in the AFC, 1,144 yards, 251 carries, 4.6 average, 19 touchdowns.
Browner and Williams on the last tackle. Receivers double to the right side. Joyner in motion back toward the inside. Dan Pat short drop. And he hits Wes Chandler at the 50, 45. Tries to go to the outside, 40. Goes out of bounds inside the 40-yard line. Wes Chandler. Lou Breeden on the tackle there.
Lindsey, that was a very interesting play because the coverage actually overran the wide receiver. Chandler went down about 5-6 yards. The defender came up. He went beyond the play. Chandler had to wait. The reason that Chandler had to wait, Fouts bobbled the snap. He stepped back from center. Didn't have control because it's so bitterly cold down there. And that allowed them to help break Chandler for a bigger gain. 3 receptions, 81 yards for Wes Chandler.
First down, 10 yards to go at the 38-yard line. San Diego driving and trailing in the ballgame. This is Muncie fumble. Scramble is on. Cincinnati, I think, has recovered it, and they have. The Bengals get it on Chuck Muncie's fumble at the 40-yard line. It was Ross Browner, who recovered it.
That again is the 4th San Diego turnover. They have fumbled now twice. They have been intercepted twice, and it negates a brilliant drive to start the second half. So the Bengals now get the football back with 12:05 left to go in the third quarter. The Bengals lead it by 10, 17-7. And there's a timeout on the change of possession. We'll be back after this message.
The only better than buying a new GM car is winning one. And now that's possible with the GM Match and Win sweepstakes. Just take the number that you received in the special insert in January 10th newspapers to a Buick dealership and see if it matches. No purchase is necessary. And in case you didn't get a number, your Buick dealer can provide you with details. While you're there, check out your number and then check out the great new 82 Buicks. Even if you don't win, you can do the next best thing, buy a new Buick. Contest open to licensed drivers only, void where prohibited.
Ready for a real chainsaw? Now's the time to move up to Red, Homelight Red, because now your dealer's making it easy to get your hands on a Homelight, like the powerful 330, packed with a big 16 or 20-inch guide bar and the kind of features you're ready for. Solid-state ignition, anti-vibration system, pro-style handguards, and automatic chain oiling. Move up to Red at your Homelight dealer. Check out the savings on the 330 and other fine chainsaws from Homelight.
We mentioned that Chuck Muncie, though a brilliant running back for the San Diego Chargers, sometimes is prone to fumbleitis. Certainly when it's 9 degrees below zero, Muncie could not be faulted. The hit was put on. The Bengals came up with their 4th turnover of the afternoon. And Lindsey, just as they did against the Buffalo Bills, they are playing flawless football. Cincinnati has not made a mistake offensively or defensively. They have not turned the ball over as they did not against Buffalo, winning 28-21. They've got a 10-point lead, good field position.
First and 10 at their own 40-yard line. Jim Anderson breaks out of the huddle up to the line. The running backs is split. Now they move to a wing right alone setback. Anderson waits for the snap. He's got it. He was on the ground, handing it off, taken by Big Pete Johnson. Pete got one or two. Maybe out to the 43-yard line, making 2nd and 7. Tackle made by Lyndon King from Colorado State. Bengals trying to get to the Super Bowl where they have never been. Franchise fashioned by Paul Brown. One of the most anticipatory of all the Browns this morning before the ball game was Paul Brown. 2nd down and 7 at the 43-yard line. Anderson again, dropping back. Now he's going to scramble it up the middle, 45, 50, and he's down to the 47-yard line. Jed Anderson decided he'd run it himself up the middle. First down and 10 yards to go. Bengals have the ball in San Diego territory.
And again, Kenny Anderson could run the football. He rushed 46 times during the regular season for over 300 yards. He did it once earlier in the football game, and he picked up 17 yards on one carry. This time he picked up over 10, picked up another first down, wisely tucked the football under as he was going down. 54 for the San Diego Chargers. Jim Laslovic had a shot at him about 7 yards before Kenny went down. He just ran away from Laslovic, the linebacker.
The running backs are evened up now as Ken Anderson waits for the snap. Johnson in the right set now. Anderson drops back, and again he's going to run it. 45, hits the deck at the 42-yard line. He got 5 more. Anderson running the ball again. 2nd and 5 at the 42. Lyndon King made the stop.
Number 55, Bob Horn, making the tackle secure, as they like to say, a 6-year man out of Oregon State. Kenny took some exception to it, got up, they had some words, and then they went back to the huddle.
So now, the Cincinnati Bengals are back in their huddle once again.
You know, Anderson might have used some words that Bob Horn didn't understand. Kenny is studying for his law degree at Northern Kentucky University Chase College of Law. He will take his bar exams in both Kentucky and Ohio, so he can work either side of the river.
Wide receivers left and right. Play action. Now it's Fox. And a diving catch is made inside the 35-yard line by Dan Ross, the tight end. He held on to the football as he hit the frozen turf. It's at the 24-yard line, 1st and 10. Pete Shaw on the tackle. So the Cincinnati Bengals are moving steadily downfield. Anderson goes over, looks to the sideline to get the next play from Coach Forrest Gregg and his staff. Now he's in the huddle calling it.
Dan Ross, 71 catches this year. Outstanding 3rd-year tight end from Northeastern. Had 6 great catches last week against the Buffalo Bills. And just as Kenny Anderson brings him to the line, at San Diego's secondary again being riddled by the NFL's top-rated passer.
Anderson again back. Sets it up. Looks right. Decides he'll run it. 20, 15. Hits the deck at the 10-yard line. Anderson. Stopped by Glenn Edwards. But it's going to be 1st and goal at the 10.
Straight up the middle. Big block thrown by number 80, Chris Collingsworth, the rookie out of Florida. And the Bengals taking advantage of that fumble by Chuck Muncie. A very impressive drive, 8:40 and counting in the 3rd quarter. The Chargers are down by 10 points now. Cincinnati knocking on the San Diego door.
Cincinnati Bengals in their huddle once again. San Diego ready to deploy the defense. Here come the Bengals. Blair Bush comes over the ball. Wide receivers left and right, and the running backs are evened up. Johnson and Alexander. Anderson drops back, looks, throws right corner. Incomplete at the last moment. Isaac Curtis, the intended receiver, and Willie Buchanan at the last moment got a hand on it.
Willie Buchanan, the veteran, 10 years out of San Diego State. A little over 6 foot, good speed that time. Curtis was open. Curtis had 3 catches in the first half, but down and out, working the right corner flag. And Buchanan came up and closed the gap. Of course, that secondary of the San Diego Chargers, sometimes referred to as a sieve. Last week, Miami's Don Strock looked more like Johnny Unitas as he picked apart the Chargers secondary.
2nd down goal to go at the 10-yard line. Collingsworth coming to a wide left. Isaac Curtis to a wide right. Johnson in the right set. Alexander in the left set. Ken Johnson waits for the snap. He's got it. Back and looking. Still looking. Throws up the middle and incomplete. Intended for Collingsworth. Diving attempt made by Mike Williams, but he was short up. make it 3rd and goal at the 10-yard line.
Bengals are 3 out of 6 on 3rd down conversions. That time the man that made the play was Gary Johnson, number 79 for the San Diego Chargers, defensive tackle in his 7th year out of Grambling. Put some pressure on Anderson, forced him to throw the ball behind the receiver, and it was almost intercepted. The Bengals, well, they are tops in the NFL, fewest turnovers.
Alexander's gone out of the ball game. Tight end M.L. Harris in double tight end alignment. Pete Johnson, the lone setback, wide receivers left and right for Anderson. Anderson back and set. Looks, pumps, throws, incomplete. It was Collingsworth on a crossing pattern, but it's 4th down and goal at the 10 now. And here comes the field goal unit led out there by Jim Breach.
Breach has already hit from 31 yards. This is certainly well within his range. If there's an edge to the Cincinnati Bengals, besides enjoying the home field advantage, besides having a better secondary, it would certainly be in the kicking game. McAnally, the punter, and Jim Breach, the field goal kicker, a little bit longer and as accurate as Rolf Benerschke.
28-yard attempt with Kreider holding. Breach takes a look, backs off now. Kreider down on one knee. Ready to extend the hand, indicating he's ready for the snap. Now he does. And now he takes the ball. Breach does. He's going to the left side. And he is in there for the touchdown. It is Kreider. Kreider for the touchdown. Kreider, the holder, never did put it down. He simply took it and went to the left corner. As Breach got out of the way, and Kreider came around to the left side and scored the touchdown. And now there is a holding penalty indicated. There is a holding penalty indicated on the play. So the officials checked this one out. Keep in mind, line of scrimmage was the 10-yard line. And so it's going to be marked off against the Cincinnati Bengals. It will cancel what otherwise would have been a touchdown.
And what a great call it was by head coach Forrest Gregg of the Cincinnati Bengals. Chargers never anticipated the fake field goal. Here's the referee, Fred Silva.
4th down.
That, believe it or not, this late in the football game is the first penalty against the Cincinnati Bengals. They had played error-free football up until that point. And remarkably, the Chargers have 2, given the field conditions. San Diego's been penalized only once for 5 yards. So this time, Breach, you can expect, will try to kick it through the uprights.
38-yard attempt. Kreider, the holder, the man who took the snap and then headed for the left corner and got in there, is holding again. Breach is poised. Kreider lifts the hand indicating he's ready for the snap, puts it down this time. Breach with the kick, good. 38-yard field goal is good. 3 more points for Cincinnati. So it is now the Bengals 20, the Chargers 7. We'll be back in just a moment.
The first time these two teams met, Cincinnati won powerfully in very impressive style, 40-17. That game was in San Diego. But neither coach felt that that game would have much of an impact on this game. At that time, San Diego Chargers had lost Fred Dean. John Jefferson were working in West Chandler, and we'll tell you more about that in a second.
Breach for the kickoff, taken by Brooks at the 8-yard line. 10, 15, left to the 20, 25. Brooks to the 30, 35, 40. Back to the right, 45, 50-yard line. And a penalty marker on the play.
Going to be holding against the San Diego Chargers, number 54, Jim Laslovic, which will back him up and negate a brilliant kickoff return by James Brooks. We were talking about that earlier meeting in San Diego when Cincinnati won at 40-17. They're working in West Chandler as a replacement for John Jefferson. Defensive end Fred Dean, of course, had gone on to fame with the San Francisco 49ers. In that game, Dan Fouts was sacked 6 times. Here's Fred Silva.
On the run back, number 54, holding. First down. Laslovic holding.
Don Coryell said coming in here, he doesn't like cold weather, but he didn't think the weather would decide the game. It would be decided by the team that makes the fewest mistakes. Well, the Chargers have made 4 turnovers so far and 1 very costly holding call right there.
First and 10 at their own 24-yard line. Brooks had run it out to the 50-yard line on the run back, negated by the penalty. And now Fouts is sacked. Fouts could not find a receiver and was sacked by Bo Harris of LSU. Back there at the 19-yard line. Lost for 5 more. So it'll be second down and 15 yards to go. San Diego at the San Diego 19. Cincinnati Bengals are leading by a score of 20-7. Keep in mind the winner goes to the Super Bowl. Here come the Chargers, sending Charlie Joyner out to the left side. Wes Chandler's out to the right side. Muncie's the lone setback. Winslow on a wing, motion outside left. Pass up the middle of Charlie Joyner, incomplete, deflected, incomplete. As Hicks was making a motion to try to intercept it after it had been deflected. 3rd and 15 at the 19-yard line.
Lindsey, just as the first half began, the second half begins with the San Diego Chargers. Dan Fouts having problems getting his air attack cranked up. This is the NFL top-rated offensive unit right now. Their premier passer, Dan Fouts, who just can't seem to get a handle on the football. He's had trouble bobbling a number of snaps. He's been over-firing his receivers, and it is just so bitterly cold. 9 degrees at game time, -6 right now.
3rd and 15. Fouts again now, unleashing it and overthrows his intended receiver, Dwight Steele. Batted around by Ray Griffin, incomplete. 4th down. Hunter comes on. The hand is for the Cincinnati defense. George Robertson to do the punting. Mike Fuller's driving back to field it for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Fouts now, Lindsey, is 10 out of 18 passing, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. You can see on the sideline he is having problems with his hands. They're bitterly cold down there. Coryell thought it would be no problem for Fouts. He said, what the heck? He said he grew up in Oregon. Well, they don't have many -6-degree days in Oregon, do they?
Not that I know of. George Roberts waits for the snap. Little errand, but he gets it, steps up. And now the ball hits at the 40 up to the 45. And around midfield, there'll be no run back at the 49-yard line of Cincinnati. It is down. No run back, 1st and 10. So with the score of the Bengals 20 and the Chargers 7, we'll be back in just a moment.
The football season is over when you play your last game. But with a set of sheepskin seat covers from Averill Exclusives, you'll feel like a winner for all seasons. Hi, everybody. This is John James of the Atlanta Falcons. Ever since the hot days of July, I've had the pleasure of driving around in the luxurious comfort of my natural sheepskin seat covers. Now that it's colder than a referee's heart, the skins have really begun to pay off. Some of my teammates even call me a man for all seasons. Let's take time out for my friends at Averill Exclusives with this special offer.
Thanks, John. Want to avoid cold seats this winter? Till January 31st, Averill will fit your car with their most popular genuine sheepskin seat cover for just $69. Save even more with a pair. Averill brings you true European driving comfort with automotive specialties like soft leather driving gloves, plush floor mats, Porsche sunglasses, and other accessories. Just dial COMFORT, that's COMFORT on your phone for comfort in your car. Averill Exclusives, Roswell Road at West Wayuka, 2 miles inside I-285.
Along with Lindsey Nelson, Jim Kelly back at sold-out Riverfront Stadium. 6:40 to go in the 3rd quarter. The Bengals on top by 13 points, and they're approaching midfield after that punt by the Chargers.
1st and 10, they're on 49. Move Alexander up into a wing left. Pete Johnson alongside back for Ken Anderson. Anderson has the ball, dropping back, takes a look. And with someone holding on, unloads the pass. It's complete to his tight end rush. He's at the 40-35. It was Bob Horn who made the hit. Going to be spotted at the 34-yard line, 1st and 10.
Oh, and is John Woodcock angry? Big number 90, 6'3", 255 in his 5th year out of Hawaii, and how he must feel foreign here in 6-degree temperatures. He was the man that just had a hand on Kenny Anderson before Anderson won his. It was almost a shovel pass. He had him, tripped him up, and Anderson was going down, and he found his big tight end in his 3rd year from Northeastern. 4 grabs now, 63 yards for Danny Ross.
1st down, 10 yards to go for the Bengals in an I formation. Anderson driving back to look it over. Steps up, unloads again short to Alexander. He is at the 30-yard line, and Laslovic has him on his shoulder. So it was a gain of 4 yards on the play to make it 2nd and 6 at the 30-yard line of the San Diego Chargers.
Almost the same play from the other direction, only this time instead of the tight end, it was the running back, Charles Alexander, in his 3rd year, former Bengal out of LSU. And what a game he had a week ago against the Buffalo Bills as the Cincinnati Bengals prevailed 28-21 to get into this AFC Championship.
2nd down play coming now for Cincinnati. Collingsworth comes to the left side. Isaac Curtis goes to the right side. Johnson and Alexander are evened up for Ken Anderson. He's got the ball, fading back to look. Penalty mark at the line of scrimmage, and it's intercepted on the left corner. I beg your pardon. It's caught by Isaac Curtis. Isaac Curtis got it as the marker to be checked out. Willie Buchanan has made a move. Curtis got the ball. And there'll be a penalty marker to be checked out. There was movement at the line of scrimmage before the snap.
I believe one of the Chargers jumped offsides, Lindsey.
That's the indication now. Offsides against the Chargers. Gary Big Hands Johnson, I think. Defense, offside, refused, first down. Because of the completion to Curtis, they declined the penalty, take the ball 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line.
You know, the Chargers are in trouble right now. They're down by 13 points, 20-7. Their defense has not been effective in halting Kenny Anderson, except few defenses have. They've got to force some kind of a turnover here. Cincinnati has played flawless football for 2 weeks in the playoffs. First against Buffalo, no turnovers, and so far here against the Chargers.
Anderson now giving it off to Pete Johnson. And Johnson tries the inside. Got about a yard as he moves to the 17, where it's going to be 2nd down and 9 yards to go. Cincinnati leading by a score of 20-7. And we are late in the 3rd quarter with 4 minutes, 45 seconds remaining to be played in this period. Lyndon King and Louis Kelcher made the tackle on the last play.
San Diego's defense, Lindsey, was in a similar situation down in Miami when they had to force some kind of a turnover to halt a Dolphin drive, and they came up with a play there. Let's see what they can do here, but they've got to make some kind of a Cincinnati error and turn the ball over.
Collinsworth left, Isaac Curtis right. Dropping back is Anderson. Goes complete to his tight end Ross, and he is at the 11-yard line. And the ball got away, and it is taken by San Diego. And they recover it and retain possession. Willie Buchanan got the football after Ross had made the grab, and so the ball goes over to the San Diego Chargers. Change of possession and with a score. Bengals 20 and the Chargers 7. Let's take time out.
This bud's for all the men in black and white. Yeah, to the guys who always have the last word. Here's to the referee.
This bud's for you. There's no one else who does it quite the way you do. So here's to you. You know it isn't only what you say, it's what you do.
Just for you guys who blow the whistle and fling the flags, here's that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
I don't always agree with him, Jack, but where would we be without him?
Well, sometimes you'd be about 15 yards closer to the goal line.
This bud's for you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
You deserve it, refs, so take time out after the game for a cold Bud. It just might be your best call all day.
For all you do.
This Bud's for you.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
20-7, Bengals on top over the Chargers. 4:14 left to go in the 3rd quarter now, and the San Diego defense did exactly what they had to do. They kept the Bengals out of the end zone, off the scoreboard, not even a breach field goal try. They forced the turnover, the first mistake Cincinnati has made now in 2 football games. They played error-free football against the Buffalo Bills. They won it by a touchdown, 28-21. They got into this AFC Championship. The Chargers had turned the ball over 4 times, 2 fumbles, 2 interceptions, and right now, on that turnover, Dan Fouts and the AFC's #1 offensive unit takes over in 17-yard line, and suddenly there's some movement in the San Diego Chargers owner's booth. To our right, Gene Klein, his lovely daughter sitting there. They've been kind of quiet most of the second half.
1st and 10 now. Dan Fouts is leaning in to take the snap. Wide receivers left and right. Fouts looks and throws, and Charlie Joyner's got it at the 40-yard line. He's hit immediately. It'll be marked 39. Let's pause 5 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the CBS Radio Network.
Atlanta's Radio, 68 AM, WRNG, North Atlanta.
Lindsey, that was the best ball that Dan Fouts has thrown all day long. He got control of the snap, fired it right on a rope. Charlie Joyner, reminiscent of the same ball that he threw to Charlie Joyner that set up the winning field goal by Rolf Panerska. But that's the best ball. Now, Fouts is getting his touch. If he's finally getting his feel here at Cincinnati in the cold, the Bengals secondary will have a long afternoon.
Fouts for the pass. Let's complete to Chandler. Chandler is approaching the 50, never gets there as he's run out of bounds. Lou Breeden ran him out. Everybody in the stadium, of course, has been trying to figure out some way to keep warm. We've been watching officials and others who've been doing little dance steps, jogging up and down. During that last time out, we were watching Burl Tola, the head linesman, and Burl was going through some steps that aren't even out yet. Movements up and down, just trying to keep warm. Ball is spot at the 48.
He was at the disco last night.
First down, 10 yards to go.
Where he picked up some of those moves.
Starts again. Drops, sets, looks right, and gets it off. Statue of Liberty to Brooks. And Brooks is down to the 45-yard line. James Brooks on the Statue of Liberty, as it were. Browner and Cameron on the tackle. And the ball is at the 44-yard line. Another first down. First and 10 for San Diego.
Brooks now 4 carries, 24 yards. They worked the Statue of Liberty to perfection. They had it set up on the right side. Fouts even carried it out with a pump fake over toward Forrest Gregg, the Cincinnati coach.
Fouts in there now, waiting for the snap. He's got it. Try the draw play to Muncie. Muncie up the middle of the 40, still going, and gets down near the 35-yard line, where they push him back. This will be spotted, I think, near the 35. LeClaire and Browner were on the tackle.
Man that made the big block was veteran Ed White in his 13th year out of California, number 67. He made the initial hit for Muncie to slither on through. Then Chuck saw that the secondary was starting to convene. He cut it back against the grain to his left side and busted it for another 5 or 6 yards. So it's second down and short yardage situation. Less than half a yard to go. This is a good waist down, Lindsey. A good down to put it up deep. Try to get a quick score.
Muncie is in a long setback position. Gets the hand out, tries the middle, goes outside, picks it up to the 30, and down to the 25-yard line. First and 10. San Diego at the Cincinnati 25. Hicks and Riley made the stop.
So it's another first down for the San Diego Chargers. Check taking advantage of that turnover when Woody Lowe forced the fumble after the tight end Ross had caught the football. Muncie that time. Good blocking over on the right side again for the Chargers offensively. Russ Washington, Ed White. That Charger offensive line now starting to dominate things down on the line of scrimmage.
Chuck Muncie has gone off the field. James Brooks has replaced him. Winslow in motion back toward the middle and outside left. Brooks with the ball. Trying to find a place to turn the corner out there, but he cannot, and he is stopped for no gain. It'll be second and 10 at the 25-yard line for James Brooks.
Man who made the play was number 57, Reggie Williams. He wasn't in on the tackle or any initial or ensuing action, but he actually clogged it up, botched the lane up, and made it impossible for Brooks to get outside. Thus, the containment came up and made the hit. Number 57, Reggie Williams, in his 6th year out of Dartmouth. We mentioned a week ago against Buffalo that the Cincinnati Bengals are cerebral. They got a couple of Ivy Leaguers there.
That they do. Second and 10 at the 25-yard line. And again, it is Brooks. And he is really stacked up. Gained a foot or so more, and that is all. As he ran into a crowd of Whitleys and McClares and Browners. Call it third and 10 at the 25-yard line. We have 42 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Defensive replacements racing onto the field now for the Cincinnati Bengals, who are leading in the game by a score of 20-7.
Dwight Scales checks in 87. Eric Sievers, the tight end, leaves number 85. Bengals deploy 5 defensive backs, anticipating pass on third and 10.
We're down to 20 seconds remaining in the third quarter as Dan Fouts waits for the snap. Crowd is alive. Fouts for the ball. He stumbles, goes down. Holds on to the football, takes the loss back to the 31-yard line. Eddie Edwards on top of him. Fouts, as he started to drop back, stumbled, hit the deck, and that was that.
It'll be recorded as a sack, but there was really no pressure until Fouts was down on the artificial surface. He stumbled as he went back, as Lindsey called it. He got his legs tangled up either with the center or the right guard, Ed White. He went down, fumbled the football, gathered it back in, then a huge pileup. So that's it. That's the end of the third quarter. The Bengals will have it, or excuse me, the Chargers will have it 4th and 17 when Lindsey and I come right back. The end of the third quarter with a score. The Bengals beating the Chargers 20-7.
On city streets and country roads, International. Making deliveries, hauling loads, International. Whatever job you've got number one name in trucks means saving for you. International.
Our recent fuel efficiency tests proved that over a 4-year period, an International XL Series heavy truck can save thousands of fuel dollars over a comparably equipped Kenworth or Freightliner. And that can mean thousands of dollars of extra profit to a business. But no matter what business you're in, International's finding ways to lower your trucking costs and improve your profits. See your International dealer soon to find out just how much you can save with International.
Whatever job's got to be done, International can cost you less to run. We're the number one name in trucks, International.
Do you get tired of arguing with your kids about the kinds of shows they watch on TV? Well, now you can get them to watch something better. With the RCA Video Disc Player, the machine that plays video discs of great entertainment on your TV. Entertainment your kids will love, like Walt Disney, Mary Poppins, The Black Stallion, and lots more. Starting at just $15. Who knows? You may even get them to watch the Royal Ballet and like it.
Buy the player now and get $50 or 3 video discs direct from RCA. Offer good only at participating RCA dealers through this February 9th.
Kind of a surprise, Lindsey, with the line of scrimmage, the 32-yard line of the Cincinnati Bengals, rather than punt or go for it on 4th down. Benershka will attempt apparently a 50-yard field goal. He's 2 for 5 from this distance, but I'm sure he hasn't kicked one when it was 6 degrees below zero.
His long was 52 for the year. Luther's in the hole for him. And that stretch puts it down. Benershka's kick is a line drive. Hit from the 5. Gets across the end line. And so it is no good. It goes over at the 32-yard line. So with the score, the Bengals 20 and the Chargers 7. Let's take time out.
1982, the year of a brand new century from Buick. A century that's taken on a whole new look because it's been redesigned from front to back. The most aerodynamic Buick in recent years. And for all its good looks, this century is more than just a pleasure to look at. Its front-wheel drive will pull you through the worst weather. And its luxurious interior will comfortably accommodate 5. 1982. It's not just a new year, but a whole new century. At your Buick dealers now.
If you qualify, the Army will pay a $5,000 bonus for enlisting in certain specialties. See your Army recruiter today. Paid for by the U.S. Army.
Well, we've had reports which are encouraging from the sideline that they haven't had to take any of the spectators or any people to the hospital with frostbite. It is bitterly cold here, 6 degrees below zero, a wind chill factor of minus 55. If you take a look down on the sidelines and on the baseball dugouts, some of these Bengal rooters who have taken off their shirts and their jackets and are down there bare top, they don't take them to the hospital, they have to take them to the psychiatric ward.
You got it. Here come the Bengals now, first and 10 at their own 32-yard line. Set it up in an I formation. Alexander behind Johnson. Ken Anderson in, ready to take the snap. And they try the draw play. They have it to Alexander, and Alexander goes to the right side. Picks up about 3 to the 35-yard line, which will make it 2nd down and 7. Lyndon King and Bob Horn on the tackle.
Of course, now with a 13-point lead and about 14 and a half minutes left to play in this AFC Championship game, the Bengals sitting on a 13-point lead don't want to get too cozy, not try to get too cute. They'd like to get some kind of a scoring drive together, but you want to work on the clock a little bit as well.
Hollingsworth goes to a wide left. Isaac Curtis comes to a wide right. The running backs are split. Ken Anderson bending in. He's got the football, sets to look, pumps it. Hollingsworth. And it's fumbled, and it is simply taken there by Collingsworth after he had hit the ground. It's through to completion, and it's the first down at the 49-yard line. Mike Williams and Glenn Edwards there.
They rule it a completed pass. He came down with it, then fumbled the football, and it came right back up into number 80's waiting arms. The wide receiver, 6'5", 192, the rookie out of Florida. He beat Mike Williams, the 7-year pro from LSU.
It wasn't a fumble, it was a dribble. First and 10 at the 49-yard line. Pete Johnson, the lone setback in this alignment. Stevens over to the left side. Johnson with the ball right side. Gets into the 40-yard line. Penalty marker. Penalty marker. Big Pete Johnson drove it to the 40-yard line.
Now, interesting, the Bengals have been running left the whole game. This time they came back and they ran over the right side. Max Montoya, Mike Wilson, 65 and 77 respectively. However, it looks like it'll be negated as the pile-driving fullback from Ohio State rambled for big yardage, holding against the Cincinnati Bengals. Here's Fred Silver.
Offense, number 65. Holding, first down. That's why they had the hold. Max Montoya.
That's why they don't run to the right side very often.
First down and 20 yards to go at the 41-yard line. Cincinnati's ball in their territory.
Kenny Anderson now, the NFL's top-rated passer, 13 of 21, 5 straight passes, 156 yards. Bengals up by 13.
Alexander and Johnson evened up. Wide receivers left and right. Anderson looking. Tries to run it. Hits the deck at the 45-yard line. Picked up only 4. So it'll be second and 16. The officials in there now. And Anderson, slow getting up. And they say bring out some members of the training staff. Anderson shaken up as he made contact with Jerry Big Hands Johnson. He was trying to get up there with his patented hook slide and hit the deck, but there was contact, and Anderson is shaken here. So we have an official's tie.
And very quickly, Jack Thompson, number 12, gets up and starts warming up over on the Bengals sideline. Kenny Anderson, on the day, 13 of 21, 156 yards, has completed 5 straight passes in a row, has 1 touchdown. It looks like Anderson will come limping off. As he went down after his 5th carry of the afternoon, Kenny gave it that baseball hook slide, but there were 3 Chargers from opposite directions that convened at the point of impact. And Kenny appears to be very wobbly as he comes off now, and it looks like Thompson, who now is not throwing passes on the sideline as much as just taking some snaps, trying to get those frigid hands warmed up. Warms up, an official's timeout, so we'll bring you this message from the National Football League, 410 Park Avenue in New York. You can bring home real Super Bowl excitement in the largest Super Bowl program ever. This 164-page magazine gives you a review of the 1981 NFL season, complete reports on past and present Super Bowl teams, and much, much more. To order yours, send a check or money order for $3.95 to Super Bowl 16, Post Office Box 16, Houston, Texas. Zip code 77001. Allow 4 weeks for delivery. That's $3.95 to Super Bowl 16, Post Office Box 16, Houston, Texas. Zip code 77001.
The throwing Samoan, Jack Thompson from Washington State, is in their quarterback now. It's second down, 16 yards to go for Cincinnati. They have the ball at their own 45, and they're leading by a score of 20-7. Alexander out wide right. Johnson long set back for Thompson. Thompson handing it out to Johnson. Tries the right side. 50-46. Stop there. Picked up about 9 on the play. Not enough for the first down, of course. Lyndon King, Woody Lowe converging on the tackle. Here comes Steve Kreider into the ball game.
Jack Thompson, in his 3rd year out of Washington State, coming into this game, had only thrown 21 passes. Had only completed 21 passes on 49 attempts. 3rd and 7, a passing situation now for Thompson, but look for him to go to the high percentage kind of a pass, something that's safe as he has just warmed up.
Starts back and looks, brings it out to Johnson. Pete Johnson over his shoulder, 40, 35, and out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Pete Shaw bounced him out. First down and 10 yards to go. The Cincinnati Bengals keep their drive alive at the 32-yard line.
So Jack Thompson is 1 for 1. Lindsey, it's kind of inexcusable if you're the San Diego Chargers defensively. You've got to anticipate that Thompson's not going to throw deep. He didn't have time to throw any passes or warm up on the sideline. He barely had time to take a couple of steps. They're going to be throwing to a back one-on-one working out of there. They should have had some coverage out on the flat on Pete Johnson.
The greeting you heard was for Ken Anderson coming back into the ballgame. So Thompson goes to the sideline, gets congratulations. First and 10 for the Bengals. They held the ball at the 32 of the San Diego Chargers. Pete Johnson inside the 30, still driving down to about the 26-yard line. Picks up 6. Second down and 4. Glenn Edwards on the tackle.
driving is the right word. The Bengals are driving toward the Pontiac Silverdome and Super Bowl 16. If they win this AFC Championship, they'll meet the winner of the NFC Championship, which will come up at 4:45 Eastern Time today. Jack Buck and Pat Summerall, the 49ers of San Francisco, and the Dallas Cowboys.
Second down, 4 yards to go. Cincinnati at the San Diego 26. Running backs in an I formation. Anderson with the ball, tailback. Alexander hits the left side. Got to about the 22-yard line. They take a long look now. Woody Lowe made the tackle. And they're going to see about the possible first down here. And to do that, they will take out the chain. Clock is stopped with 11 minutes, 14 seconds left to play in this game. Earl Toller and the chain gang go out now.
Lindsey, you know, the Bengals have never played in a championship game of any kind. Neither the Bengals nor the San Diego Chargers have advanced to the Super Bowl. But, hey, if the Bengals need some kind of advice, maybe they should just look to their coaching staff. Bengals head coach Forrest Gregg, a history of playoff successes as a player, a starting offensive lineman, and a great one on Vince Lombardi's Green Bay Packer teams back in the mid-'60s, appeared in 9 playoff games, and Forrest Gregg's team won 8 of those 9. Defensive line coach for the Bengals, Dick Modulewski, a former defensive lineman with the New York Giants, the Cleveland Browns, played on 6 conference championships and 2 NFL champions teams. Between them, Gregg and Modulewski have played in 17 championship games.
Third down, less than a yard to go. At the 23-yard line, running backs in an I. Alexander up and over for the first down. Alexander simply went up and over. And now they're going to check for the possible first down. And they're going to bring the chain back out again. Earl Toller goes over to get it. Alexander went up. And of course, in that case, it's where you spot it, so they take the chain out. See if they kept the drive alive, and if they did not, it'll be fourth down. They extend it.
Just about
and it's short. It's short. He did not make the first down. Didn't get it. He went up, but he didn't go over.
And Forrest Gregg is signaling to Ken Anderson, call your own play. They're going to go for it. And this is a great call at this stage of the football game. About 10 minutes will be left when the play is snapped. If the Bengals pick up the first down and take it in to score, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown, it'll mean that San Diego will have to score 3 times instead of 2.
Alexander and Johnson are evened up. Anderson waiting for the snap. Johnson, first down, left side, still driving. Got down about the 15-yard line. Glenn Edwards on the tackle. But on fourth down, the Cincinnati Bengals keep it alive, and the football season is slowly slipping away from the San Diego Chargers.
And again, they ran left, Lindsey. Anthony Munoz, number 78, the second-year big tackle out of USC. He's going to be a great one. Dave Lapham, number 68, over on the left side. And then Pete Johnson, once he broke through the initial plane, had to be tackled by Pete Shaw and others, a pile-driving fullback, a big first down, all the way down to the 14 of the San Diego Chargers, who really have their job cut out for them now.
Wide receiver strung out for the Cincinnati Bengals. Anderson waiting, and he's got it. Giving it out to Johnson. Powers in again, down near the 10-yard line. Picking up about 4. Give it to the big fella. The Bengals are leading 20-7. Big hands Johnson and Louis Kelcher made the tackle on the last play. Here comes Emil Harris back into the ball again. Alexander's coming off. 2nd and 6 at the 10-yard line. Cincinnati up to the line. Isaac Curtis wide right. Collingsworth wide left. Anderson takes a look. Handing it off. Again is Johnson, his big fullback. Got about 2 or 3 yards to the right side. Down near the 7. That'll be 3rd down and 4 yards to go. Louis Kelcher and Lyndon King made the tackle.
And again, the Bengals content to keep it on the ground, work on that clock. 8:35, 8:34 and counting left to go in the football game. The Bengals with 284 yards total offense now, 5 out of 10 on third down conversions. looking at 3rd and 3. Good time for a little screen play. Maybe spring Alexander one-on-one against the linebacker.
Running back to well split here. Anderson up there again. Handing it off to Alexander. Tries the right side. Looking for a place to cut back. Gets to the 5-yard line and just inside before he stopped. Charles Alexander. Glenn Edwards. Along with Lyndon King on the stop. Willie Buchanan there as well.
And again, it'll depend on where they spot the ball. He is very, very close to first down yardage over on the near sideline. In fact, they only have to bring the chain in about 3 or 4 steps. And they put the chain down, if any part of the football, it is just the nose.
They picked it up. First down and goal to go. On the 4-yard line.
I think it'd be safe to say first down in Pontiac, Michigan to go.
Just about. Pontiac, Michigan, scene of the Super Bowl on January 24th. Collingsworth has come off the field for the moment. Harris and Bass are in there. Johnson is plunging for it on the left side. Got about a yard. It'll be second down and goal to go. Big Pete Johnson from Ohio State.
Lindsey, the first time these two teams met, the Bengals controlled the Chargers very well, winning at 40-17. Cincinnati, much the better football team thus far in the football game. They are leading at 20-7 at this point, about to go out in front by 20 points, 27-7, unless the San Diego defense can force some kind of a turnover. You'd have to say the Miami Dolphin overtime game took an awful lot out of the Chargers. 74 grueling minutes of football, and also the -9, -6 degree weather we've had here in Cincinnati.
Anderson dropping back, throws into the end zone. Touchdown! It is Don Bass. Bass gathered it in for the touchdown. So once again, the Cincinnati Bengals are on the scoreboard. They lead it 26-7. Crowd is happy.
Just a simple post pattern for number 84, Don Bass, the 4-year man from Houston. And you take a look at how Kenny Anderson has used his wide receivers here this afternoon. 89, Dan Ross. 86, Steve Kreider. 85, Isaac Curtis. 84, Don Bass. 83, M.L. Harris, all catching passes, along with 80, Chris Collingsworth, and both Pete Johnson and Charles Alexander. Kenny Anderson keeping them all happy, utilizing receivers, working on that San Diego secondary, bouncing the secondary around like a pinball machine.
Jim Breach will attempt the conversion. Kreider's in the hole for him. Kreider extends the hand, indicating he's ready for the snap. Puts it down. Pete moves it up, and it's good. So it is now. The Cincinnati Bengals 47, San Diego Chargers 7. We'll be back in just a moment.
You know just where you're going, and you're going all the way. Night or day, we're gonna help you get there, and we'll get you there with time to spare. Transportation you can trust, Atlanta Discover Us, Northside Airport Express.
Atlanta and Georgia football fans know where they're going, and everybody at Northside Travel Group is with you from the first game of the season to the final playoff, helping you get there with complete travel agency services of Northside Travel, with charter coaches from Northside Charter, and with direct service to the international airport from Northside Airport Express. When you think of travel, think of the Northside Travel Group, Northside Travel, Northside Charter, and of course,
Northside Airport Express.
Call 455-1600.
First touchdown reception of the year for Don Bass, 4-year man out of Houston. The Bengals in command of this AFC Championship game now, 27-20 with 6:52 remaining. The San Diego Chargers, the winners of the AFC West, have to score 3 touchdowns, and they've only got just under 7 minutes to do it in.
Jim Breach will kick it off. Brooks is center deep. Here comes Breach. Sails a knuckleball downfield. And he's picked up by Bodwin, and he is up to the 20-25, to the 30, and across the 30-yard line, stopped near the 35. Dinkle made the tackle. So San Diego gets the football once again. They get it 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
27-7, a 20-point lead for the Bengals. They've got to score 3 touchdowns. They have only scored once so far in the football game, a 33-yard scoring strike from Fouts to Kellen Winslow. That was way back in the early moments of the second quarter.
And Fouts in, ready to take the snap. Driving back. Throws right. And it is caught by Chandler. And right with him was Brian Hicks. It's at the 40-yard line in Cincinnati territory. Chandler managed to hang on to the football 1st and 10. San Diego at the Cincinnati 40.
Deep post pattern that time. Chandler beat the man one-on-one that was covering him, number 34, Lou Breeden, who's got 1 interception in the afternoon. That's the 5th grab of the afternoon for Chandler. Total of 76 yards. Fouts can't waste any time now inside of 6 minutes when the ball is snapped and you're down by 20 points.
Punches his long setback. Fouts drops and looks over the middle, and again it's Chandler. 45, but he could not get away from Ray Griffin. Trying to skirt along as he's running laterally, and it'll be spotted now at the 38-yard line.
Actually driven backwards and driven back there well by Ray Griffin, brother of Archie Griffin, 4-year back out of Ohio State. Inside of 5:35 and counting. Chargers with all 3 timeouts left. Keep in mind, this is the top scoring unit in the National Football League this year. 474 points. They've been held to just 7 in the AFC Championship.
Dan Fouts again backpedaling and looking. Steps up, scrambles right. Now throws long, and it's Muncy downfield. In a crowd, he can't get it. Muncy had it teetering on his fingertips at the 5-yard line, but he was double teamed by Mike Fuller, and Brian Hickson could not quite reach far enough.
That would have been a great grab by Chuck Muncy, sometime much maligned because he does fumble the football. Used primarily as a running back, that time one-on-one out of the backfield. And as Lindsey called it, just teetering on the fingertips, and then the defensive secondary teetering on Muncy's shoulders, making it impossible for him to make that great grab.
3rd down, 7 yards to go. San Diego at the Cincinnati 37-yard line. The Cincinnati Bengals leading 27-7. 3 receivers on the right side. Wide receiver on the left side. Wide receiver right, Dan Fouts. Backpedaling, pushes on. He keeps the football and is running at 35, and he skids down to the 30-yard line. Crowner and Reggie Williams there. And Fouts gets up slowly, but he's all right. And it is a 1st down. So Fouts scrambles for a 1st and 10 to keep the Chargers alive. 4 minutes, 48 seconds left to play in the AFC Championship game on a cold day in Cincinnati.
How cold is it?
It's cold enough that I was talking to a newspaperman from Boston who said, I didn't know it ever got this cold in Cincinnati. I thought Cincinnati was just across the river from Kentucky, and everybody knows that's in the South. Dropping back now is Dan Fouts. Looking, puts it up. Down the corner, Chandler leaps up. And it is incomplete. Incomplete. Bobby Kemp trying for it. So was Chandler. So was Mike Fuller. Nobody got it. Lou Breeden was in the crowd there also. 2nd and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Fouts that time chased out of the pocket. The offensive line held the protection as long as they could. Threw up kind of a Hail Mary kind of a pass. Threw it actually into triple coverage. The man with the best shot at it was Bobby Kemp, the rookie out of Cal Fullerton, who had inside position on Wes Chandler. Chandler almost took it away for the touchdown.
Now it is 2nd down and 10 yards to go for the San Diego Chargers. Slowly they come up to the line. Joyner and Chandler are double to the left side. Kellen Winslow left side as well. Fouts retreats, backpedaling, looks and throws. Sideline. Joyner can't get it over his head. He was trying to keep inbound and reach, and Riley was covering. 3rd and 10.
Well, you can see again how this cold weather, -6 right now. It started out -9 Fahrenheit. Wind chill factor 50, 55 below zero down in the field. The ball fluttered away from Dan Fouts, the 3rd best passer in the National Football League. The top-rated passer, Kenny Anderson, in here this afternoon having quite an afternoon. Fouts is 14 of 25 in the passing department. 1 touchdown. That again with 13:24 left to go in the second quarter. And otherwise, the Chargers, the NFL's top-scoring team, 474 points this year, have been kept out of the end zone off the scoreboard by a stingy Bengal defense.
Eric Seaver's back into the ballgame. Dwight Scales is out. Here's a quick pitch taken by Muncie. Comes to the left side, gets to the 25, and goes out of bounds at the 22-yard line. Shouldered out by Griffin and Reggie Williams. So it's going to be fourth down. And about 2 yards to go.
That was a good call, though, Lindsey, because the Bengals were playing pass all the way. They have been on this whole drive, which started with about 6 minutes to go in the football game. Chargers still have all three of their timeouts left, but they've only got 4:04 left to go, and they're down by 20 whopping points.
It is spotted near the 21, so call it 4th and 1 at the 21. And the Chargers are, of course, going for it here. 4:04 on the clock. They're trying to keep the drive alive, but they have to have a yard. Hodge giving it to Muncie, right side. He's got the yard and more. 15-10. Fumbles. Scramble is on. It's around the 6-yard line. And San Diego retains possession. Muncie let the ball get away after he picked up the first down, but San Diego got it back. So it is first down and goal to go at the 6.
They run that power sweep to the right side. They put Kellen Winslow in motion. Leading the blocking out there was number 63, Doug Wilkerson. He will be the man that comes over and gets the loose football. He was stripped of it, Muncie was, by Brian Hicks, the safety man from McNeese, and Wilkerson came up with a loose ball at about the 5.5-yard line.
3 minutes, 20 seconds left to play in the game. Receivers double to the left side. Fouts is waiting for the snap. Gives it to Muncie. 1 yard and 1 yard only to the 5-yard line. Second down and goal to go at the 5 as he tried the middle.
Kind of a strange play call on first and goal from the 5.5. They've been ineffective at running the football up the middle on the Cincinnati Bengals defense all afternoon. When they've advanced the football, it's been Muncie or James Brooks sweeping the left to the right side, and especially with the time so much a factor, to use so much time to not go to the passing game, I'm sure they'll put it up now on 2nd and 5.
We are approaching the 2-minute warning that comes at the automatic timeout of the 2-minute warning. Fouts is retreating and looking toward the end zone and throws into the end zone, and it is incomplete. Incomplete as Eric Seaver was trying to pull it in and walk the chalk line back there, but could not hang on. LeClaire was covering an incompleted pass.
That would have been a great touchdown. Great sometimes is overworked. Fouts never saw it. Number 14 was on the bottom of his behind, if you will. As he released the football, Lyndon King sacked him. Almost a great reception by Isaac Curtis, trying to keep both feet inbound, twisting, turning, lunging his body, trying to get the Chargers back into this football game, but time just is going to slip away.
Third down and goal to go at the 5-yard line. Double receivers to the left side, wide receiver right. Fouts lobs it over to Winslow, incomplete. Just tried to lob it to the corner of the end zone, but beyond Winslow, Kemp was covering defensively. Fourth down and goal to go at the 5-yard line.
What a mismatch. Kellen Winslow, all-pro, 6'5", 242, in his third year out of Missouri, working one-on-one with Bobby Kemp, the rookie out of Cal Fullerton, and the youngster came up with a great play. You can play that bump and run within the 5-yard zone, and that's all they had to work with. And he bumped Winslow, disrupted the timing. Fouts is disgusted. He threw it incomplete.
Walking off ever so slowly is Chuck Muncie, realizing that his season is just about over. James Brooks is coming to the ballgame on fourth down now. He's the long set back. Winslow in motion across from right to left. I swung out to Brooks. He hits the 5, and he is thrown back. As he had approached the 4, it's going to be marked at the 4, and the ball goes over on down. Cincinnati gets the ball. 2 minutes, 10 seconds left to play. Burley was there. So was Hicks. It was Brooks trying to get in by sweeping left. Hit hard, driven back. Ball goes over at the 4-yard line.
They put Winslow in motion to get him out there to try and help block for Brooks. Winslow hit his man, but then the linebackers were just too quick. They came up and they sealed it off. 2:06 left to go. With the score, Cincinnati 27, San Diego 7. Let's take time out.
You hear that? That
that sound is right at the top of every beer connoisseur's hit parade. The sound of a Michelob splashing into a tall, frosty glass. Oh, that's nice. Can't listen for long, though. Gotta taste that Michelob. Gotta savor every mellow drop. Sorry, don't mean to torture you like this. But hey, there's no law that says you can't join me for a Michelob, is there? I mean, special time, sure. Everybody knows they call for Michelob. But think of all the pure beer drinking enjoyment you're missing if you save Michelob just for weekends. Come on, live a little.
Put a little weekend in your week.
Yeah. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
The crowd coming alive in Cincinnati. Their Bengals in an AFC Championship game for the first time have never been to the Super Bowl. They are just 126 seconds away from heading to the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan, Super Bowl 16 against the winner of the Dallas Cowboys, San Francisco 49ers NFC tag. That game coming up next on CBS Radio. Jack Buck, Pat Summerall, Dick Stockton, Brett Musburger, et al.
All right, the Bengals first and 10 at the 4. Clock starts on the snap, and then we'll have the automatic timeout that comes at the 2-minute warning. Johnson's the lone setback. He gets the handoff. Powers through to the 10-yard line, drops the ball, and it's recovered by Cincinnati. Pete Johnson fumbled the football, recovered by Cincinnati. Time is wound down now to 2 minutes. The automatic timeout with the score. The Bengals 27, Chargers 7. Let's take timeout.
Let's.
On city streets and country roads, International. Making deliveries, hauling loads, International. Whatever job you got to do, the number one name in trucks means saving for you, International.
If you want a heavy-duty truck that'll cost less to run, you can't do better than International. Our new fuel fighter trucks are specially equipped to cut fuel and operating costs by thousands of dollars. See an International dealer soon for a free computer analysis that'll show just how much you can save with International. And now's the time to do it, because International is offering special prices. So cut your costs and increase your profits. Go with International.
Whatever job's got to be done, International can cost you less to run. We're the number one name in trucks, International.
San Diego Chargers led the series with the Bengals, 8 wins to 6. And earlier this year, the Bengals beat San Diego out in San Diego convincingly, 40-17. The Bengals had the home field advantage coming in here. You take a look, San Diego Chargers scored 24 points or more in 11 games this year. Is the fewest points they have scored all season long. Before that, they scored 17 points against the Bears in Chicago and 17 points in losing to Cincinnati, 40-17. So you can see that one of the premier offenses in the NFL has been completely shut down by the Bengals here in Cincinnati today.
The Bengals coming up now. Second down, 4 yards to go. They have the ball at the 10-yard line. Anderson waiting for the snap. Johnson is lone setback. Give it to the big man, Johnson. It's 5 out to the 15-yard line. That's enough for a first down. Pete Johnson, 250-pounder. Stopped by Edwards and Woodcock. Red Silver, the referee, indicating first and 10.
Both the Bengals and the Chargers have 3 timeouts remaining, but Don Coryell over on the sideline knows that this game is history. Should have known it, in fact, after the intermission. His team was behind 17-7, failed to score in the third quarter, held off the scoreboard in the fourth quarter, and now, despite what we thought, someone has asked for a timeout. Kenny Anderson over chatting with Fred Silva, the referee. So with now just 1 minute, 50 seconds left to go, the score, the Bengals 27, San Diego 7. We'll be back in just a moment.
Are you one of those guys that's got a foot that's just almost impossible to buy a shoe that's really stylish, really good looking, and really comfortable? I mean, your foot's too big or your foot's too narrow? Let me tell you, the folks in this town who specialize in those hard-to-find sizes are my friends at Benny's Shoes. Now, you go by either location on the Marion Road side of Broadview Plaza, or you stop into the new location out at Loman's Plaza in Cobb County. I'm talking about AA, AAA, no matter how much trouble you have had in the past finding shoes that look sharp,
you're going to find them at Benny's Shoes. And listen, you're going to find name brand shoes. You heard right now. I know you think that's impossible, but it's a fact. Name brand shoes in sizes you can't find anywhere, and listen to the bonus, big, big discounts always at Benny's Shoes at either location. And what I always say, nobody anywhere sells shoes cheaper than my friends at Benny's Shoes. Name brand shoes, discount prices.
I'll give you a call after that. I need some. Jim Kelly, Lindsey Nelson back at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati. Clock starts now. The Cincinnati Bengals are in command of this AFC Championship game, awaiting either the Dallas Cowboys or the San Francisco 49ers.
Here come the Cincinnati Bengals out of the huddle left of the line, sending Collingsworth to the left side, Isaac Curtis to the right side. Anderson bending in now. Johnson's his lone setback. Going to a high count. Anderson simply turns and gives it to Pete Johnson. Pete simply goes up the middle to the 16-yard line, picks up a yard. Timeout taken again now. Timeout taken once again on the field by San Diego. John Woodcock made the tackle along with Laslovich. That's optimistic. They've got one timeout remaining, and they're down by 20 points. While we have a moment, though, we should congratulate both the coaches. Don Coryell of the San Diego Chargers. He had the St. Louis Cardinals. Air Coryell-oriented, Jim Hart and company there. Went to the San Diego Chargers, turned that franchise around. Winners of the AFC West again. Always in the playoffs, always entertaining. And Forrest Gregg on his second time around as well. Forrest Gregg, former coach of the Cleveland Browns, and now has hit the jackpot here in Cincinnati with the NFL's top-rated passer, Kenny Anderson, a fleet of wide receivers that are good and are only going to get better. This Bengals team, Lindsey, is very young by comparison. They're going to be on top and a force to contend with for a long, long time in that AFC Central, the black and blue division. Cleveland Browns, Pittsburgh Steelers, Houston Oilers. That might be one of the toughest divisions, if not the toughest, in all of pro football. Anderson's up there talking to the officials now as we're waiting for this timeout to expire, and then we shall proceed second and 9 at the 16-yard line.
He's asking Silva if he knows of any good restaurants around the Silverdome.
Cincinnati Bengals 27, San Diego Chargers 7. AFC Championship game. The Cincinnati crowd full of Bengal fever. Tiger stripes all over town. Here come the Bengals. Collingsworth to the left side. Isaac Curtis to the right side. Pete Johnson is the fullback. Ken Anderson, the quarterback, waiting for the snap. He's got it, gives it to Pete. The big fella kicks about 2 as he gets it up to the 18-yard line, where it'll be third down. 7 yards to go. Timeout taken by San Diego. That is their last timeout. That is the last time they can stop it. 1:11 on the clock. Anderson is walking over again to the sideline during this timeout.
CBS Radio Sports brings you the Senior Bowl this Saturday, January the 16th. Former NFL quarterback Roman Gabriel will be alongside with yours truly in Mobile, Alabama, to tell you all about it. Don't miss the Senior Bowl this Saturday at 1:10 Eastern Time. Hear it here on CBS Radio Sports. The coach of the North, Marv Levy, the Kansas City Chiefs. The quarterbacks, Jim McMahon of BYU, and Robin Gabriel, if that sounds familiar. Yes, it is Roman's son. Robin played for New Mexico. The South coach, Chuck Noll of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Quarterbacks John Forcade of Ole Miss and Mike Kelly of Georgia Tech. Same two quarterbacks that played for the South in the blue-gray game.
Ball has been marked ready for play. It's at the 22-yard line. Third down, 7 yards to go. And the San Diego Chargers on defense and trailing in the game are out of times out. Wide receivers left and right. Johnson waits, gets the ball, tries the left side, and gets through to the 21-yard line. Picks up 3 yards on the play, which will make it 4th and 4. Clock is running now. They're in no hurry to get unstacked. 57 seconds left to play on this game. Gary Johnson made the last tackle. Cincinnati Bengals are slowly coming off, some of them, as they wait for the punter to come on, and he's walking on. Pat McInally, the Harvard man, strolling as though he were in the Harvard yard, just taking his time. They don't mind taking a penalty here to get all they can out of it with the clock running down to 36.
I told you they were cerebral. He knows better than to run out on a frozen field.
Absolutely. So with 4th down and 4 yards to go at the 21. They're back there in their huddle. The Cincinnati Bengals are, and McInally Turns now and is going back over toward the sideline. Delay of game indicates Fred Silva. Delay of game against the Bengals with the clock having run down to 8 seconds. So the clock is stopped now and will not start again until the snap, but only 8 seconds remain. So McInerney went over, got a little advice, conversation, what have you, and comes back. A big day for Paul Brown. And he began this franchise, who is now its head man, of course. There's little here that doesn't have the Paul Brown touch on it, as a matter of fact. McInerney dropping back into deep punt formation. Brooks is deep, standing at the 50-yard line for San Diego. McInerney hands on knees, waits for the snap in punt formation. He's got it. Gets the kickoff. Brooks moving over toward the sideline. He hits at the 50 and bounds back. Bounding back to the 41, and the game is over. Time has run out. The clock ran out as the ball was kicked and was rolling. So that's the end of the AFC Championship game between the Bengals and the Chargers. The final score, Cincinnati Bengals 47 and the Chargers 7.
For life insurance that can help you meet today's needs or tomorrow's goals, check with State Farm. A good neighbor agent will help you plan the life insurance program that can provide your family with an instant estate. Immediate money they'll need to keep on living the way you want them to. Or the same program can build cash values to help achieve important goals in the future. For sensible, affordable life insurance, check with State Farm.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Chick Super 2 announces.
Macho shake. Get Super 2 for the Macho shake.
Don't just get close. Get macho close with Chick Super 2. Each twin blade honed to the ultimate sharp for shaves so close they're
Macho close.
Also fits Atra and Track 2 razors.
Macho shake.
Get macho close.
Shake Super 2.
Jim Kelly, Lindsey Nelson back at Riverfront Stadium here in Cincinnati, where the Bengals advance to Super Bowl 16, their first Super Bowl ever, with a convincing 27-7 win against the winners of the AFC West, the San Diego Chargers, here this afternoon. A jubilant scene here at Riverfront, with the fans filing out of the stands, but orderly, celebrating with their team, the Bengals and the Chargers having shaken hands at center field, heading now to their respective tunnels. The Chargers heading for that long, lonely flight back home to San Diego after coming into the bitter cold. It was 9 degrees below zero when the game kicked off. A heat wave brought it all the way up to 6 degrees below zero. And with a wind chill factor, the game began. It was 55 below. For the Chargers, the afternoon, however, would actually get much colder as the NFL's top point production team, the San Diego Chargers, they scored 474 points this year, held to just 7 here by a stingy Cincinnati defense. The game began with the Bengals in command. 3-0, 31-yard field goal by Jim Breach. 8:09 left to go in the first quarter. The Bengals would never look back. They increased their advantage to 10-0, following a fumble by Jim Brooks on the ensuing kickoff less than a minute later. Ken Anderson directed Cincinnati 2 plays and tossed to M.L. Harris for his 31st scoring strike. Anderson did. The conversion by Breach, and it was 10-0 Bengals, and that's how the first quarter wound down. Then the Chargers closed to a 3-point deficit. That was as close as they would come. Fouts, his 36th touchdown strike, a 33-yarder to All-Pro, All-World, Kellen Winslow, tight end extraordinaire. That was with 13:24 left to go in the second quarter, and that was as close as San Diego could come, narrowing the gap to 10-7. Pete Johnson rambled over on the Bengals' next possession. Ken Anderson marched them 68 yards plus. Johnson punched it through from the 2, 17-7, and that's where we were at halftime. Then, as the third quarter began, the only scoring, in fact, in the third quarter, at 7:52, Breach, a 38-yard field goal, increased the Bengals' advantage to 20-7. Were it not for a holding call against Cincinnati, one of the few mistakes they made, there would have been a Bengals touchdown. They faked the field goal. Steve Kreider, the holder, rambled the left side, went in for the score, but the Bengals were victimized by a holding call. They settled for the three-pointer by Breach, 20-7, a 13-point Cincinnati advantage, and we began the fourth and final quarter. And then Kenny Anderson tossed 4 yards to Don Bass. The conversion was good. They went 68 yards in 15 plays to put some icing on the cake. 27-7. That's our final score. The Bengals into Super Bowl 16 against the winner of the NFC Championship, the San Francisco 49ers, and the Dallas Cowboys, coming up at 4:45 Eastern Time here on CBS Radio. Lindsey, you can look back
the two games we have done here at Riverfront in the playoffs against Buffalo last week, the Bengals were flawless. They made no mistakes. They made no turnovers. They turned the ball over just once here this afternoon. By contrast, the Chargers turned it over 4 times, and they all resulted in Cincinnati scores.
Well, you're exactly right. The Cincinnati Bengals are a well-balanced football team. They do everything that a football team has to do very well. They are strong in all departments. San Diego Chargers are exciting, and they have a great offensive football team, but they do make some mistakes. And the mistakes are the things that tend to kill them from time to time. But for the Cincinnati Bengals, they played 2 fine football games to get themselves right into the Super Bowl.
Paul? Lindsey, we were talking and we saw the shot on the TV monitor here in the booth of a man that finally cracked a smile late in the football game. He is Mr. Cincinnati Bengal, Mr. Paul Brown. Paul, congratulations. This has to be one of the happiest moments of your life.
It's a great day for our team and our town. Really, I'm a little choked up here, but I like it.
At what point did you think your team was in complete command of this football game? Did you finally breathe a little sigh of relief, Paul?
Well, after we scored the last touchdown, I figured if they could beat us from there, why, that takes some doing. And actually, I never get very carried away until they shoot that final thing. I've been through too many of them. But it's a wonderful day, and we got wonderful fans, and our city's happy. I'm happy. My wife's happy.
Great way to start the new year.
Yes, it is. And I thank you to the people who supported us, and we give you our thank you for doing it. To come out here in a day like this, and I don't know how the players played like they played. Amazing. The things that they did with the cold. I don't think when you see it on TV, you just don't realize what's taking place out here on the field. And
Paul, in all your days in the National Football League and all the great games that you have been involved with, can you recall conditions quite like this?
Yes. I'm from Cleveland, and there were some beauties up there, but all you do is buckle up your chin strap and go after it. As I was telling my guys down in the dressing room before, this is a game of will. Terminate will. You just never give it up, and no matter what the elements are, and we stuck with it, and I'm a very proud guy.
Forrest Gregg, one of the great decisions Paul Brown ever made.
One of the fortunate, wonderful things that I'm so happy I picked him, and he's given us what we needed to do the job. He's a high-grade man. They talk about discipline, but it's fair-minded discipline. It's not out of hand or it's even. And the good players, the core, they like that, so that the guys who don't adhere or pay the price have to stay in line.
Paul, if there were one word right now to describe the Cincinnati Bengals team, what would that one word be?
Well, I have to give you more than one word. It's our scrappy little 11.
There you go. Class would be the one word to describe this gentleman. Mr. Paul Brown, Mr. Football. We'll be back in one moment.
The football season is over when you play your last game. But with a set of sheepskin seat covers from Averill Exclusives, you'll feel like a winner for all seasons. Hi, everybody. This is John James of the Atlanta Falcons. Ever since the hot days of July, I've had the pleasure of driving around in the luxurious comfort of my natural sheepskin seat covers. Now that it's colder than a referee's heart, the skins have really begun to pay off. Some of my teammates even call me a man for all seasons. Let's take time out for my friends at Averill Exclusives with this special offer.
Thanks, John. Want to avoid cold seats this winter? Till January 31st, Averill will fit your car with their most popular genuine sheepskin seat cover for just $69. Save even more with a pair. Averill brings you true European driving comfort with automotive specialties like soft leather driving gloves, plush floor mats, Porsche sunglasses, and other accessories. Just dial COMFORT, that's COMFORT, on your phone for comfort in your car. Averill Exclusives, Roswell Road at West Wayuka, 2 miles inside I-285.
Dan Fouts, 15 of 28. He is one of the top passers. He's the third-ranked passer in the AFC behind Kenny Anderson, of course. Fouts was 15 of 28, 54% completion, 184 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Kenny Anderson, the AFC's top-rated passer, the NFL's top-rated passer, 14 of 22, a 64% completion ratio, 159 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Anderson also ran for 39 yards. Total yardage: San Diego, 172 yards. Cincinnati, 173. Just about dead or even. However, That was in the passing department. Total yards 300 for San Diego, 318 for the Bengals. In turnovers, 4 for the Chargers, just 1 for Cincinnati. Cincinnati's first turnover in 120 minutes of football. However, the key thing, I think, Lindsey, is the fact that 5 times San Diego was inside the Bengals' 30-yard line, and only 1 time did they come away with a score. We'll be back in 1 moment.
You know just where you're going, and you're going all the way. Night or day, we're gonna help you get there, and we'll get you there with time to spare. Transportation you can trust, Atlanta discover us, Northside Airport Express.
Atlanta and Georgia football fans know where they're going, and everybody at Northside Travel Group is with you from the first game of the season to the final playoff, helping you get there with complete travel agency services of Northside Travel, with charter coaches from Northside Charter, and with direct service to the international airport from Northside Airport Express. When you think of travel, think of the Northside Travel Group, Northside Travel, Northside Charter, and of course,
Northside Airport Express.
Call 455-1600.
Lindsey, so much to talk about, so little time, but I think obviously the fact the game began, it was -9 degrees, a 93-degree temperature change for the San Diego Chargers from the 84 degrees we saw on the floor of the Orange Bowl a week ago. Also the fact that game was 74 minutes long in overtime, emotionally had to take so much out of the Chargers, then to come in here playing in the Bengals' home field before their home fans in a -9. I think that the Chargers had the deck stacked against them way before the opening kickoff.
Well, I think you've got it pretty straight. I think the high point of the San Diego season came with the victory over Miami in the overtime. Coming into this ball game, sometimes, of course, the score won't indicate the way a ball game goes, but I never had a feeling at any time that San Diego was about to get into the game. After Cincinnati had scored first, my feeling was that they were going to control the game. I never felt that San Diego was in a position to come on, make it a competition, and possibly win the game because Cincinnati was just in control all day long.
You've got a plane to catch, but before you go, it is always a sad moment for me when our season comes to an end. Jack Buck, Hank Stram have the Super Bowl, of course. One of the great joys of the business, the fact that I get a chance to work alongside you.
My pleasure, Jim. Thank you.
Lindsey Nelson, ladies and gentlemen, one of the class men in all of broadcasting, and my friend. So there you've got it, the American Football Conference Championship game between the Bengals and the Chargers. It has ended with a score. San Diego on the bottom end. The Cincinnati Bengals win the AFC Championship 27-7. Our spotter today was John Cooper. Our statistician, Raleigh Klein. Our engineer, Steve Kirsch of CBS Radio Network in New York. And our producer, David Kerman. Frank Miller is the executive producer for CBS Radio Sports. Today's broadcast has been sponsored by Best Western Hotels, Motor Inns, and Resorts, by the U.S. Army, by Homelight Chainsaws, by RCA Video Disc Players and Video Discs, by State Farm Insurance, and by Buick, and your local Buick dealer. Don't forget, there's more exciting NFL action coming up later today on most of these same CBS Radio Network stations. Jack Buck and Pat Summerall in San Francisco, the NFC game between the Cowboys and the 49ers for the championship of the NFC. They're broadcast at 4:45 Eastern Time. Final score once again from Riverfront Stadium, 27-7. The Bengals beat the Chargers. For Lindsey Nelson, Brent Musburger, and Dick Stockton, this is Jim Kelly saying so long for CBS Radio Sports.